Dun, dun, dun. Let's see here. Dun, dun, dun.
Good looking crew.
Hey, Andrew.
Hello.
I owe you an apology.
All good, my brother. What do you owe me an apology for?
Yesterday, I think I laid back in this chair and zonked out. I'd had about an hour and a half sleep from the night before, and I got about halfway, 3/4 of the way through the meeting, and I think next thing I know, I looked up and it was like, meeting's over. That's on me, and I apologize. That was very rude, but I'm on it and ready to go.
All good, brother. The good news is I'm a PK, so I used to teach youth class, so not the first time I'm playing. Stephanie, how's your morning been? What's something exciting in your world that's happened?
Oh, goodness. I think I was talking to Marilyn about this, but my daughter and I started taking sewing classes together.
Oh, that's fun. What a cool thing.
Yeah, she's a very crafty little thing. So she wanted to learn crochet last year, so we learned how to crochet. This year she wanted to learn how to sew, so yesterday was like our third class together.
Heck yeah. What prompted it? Just anything specific? Did she like have a friend that was doing it or something else?
I think she's in that creative expression phase where she just wants to make her own clothes, do her own stuff. So she's really into thrifting and trying to make it her own. Sure. Thanks, Sharon. Yeah. Exactly. Heather says, excellent life skills. Yeah, she's really into upcycling things. So right now we're working on we made a placemat, and then we're working on a reversible tote bag. This is like for Heather and Sharon. And then our next project is going to be a bucket hat.
Heck yeah.
That's cute.
What a fun time.
Thanks. How about you?
It's been good. It's been productive. Got some study time, getting ready for the live. Last minute, because lots of reports are happening with the Fed announcement. All of that's happening. So I've been geeking out over what's been happening in the last hour in the news.
We love our market updates.
I do. Those are fun. I enjoy digging into them. Type in the chat. Everybody who's on, what's your energy level? 1 out of 10.
10. 10.
Oh, look, we got the real Caleb back. He was here last week.
What? What's up, Caleb? Good to see you, brother. All right. Heather's a 9. Marlon's a 9. Mm-hmm. Marilyn's a 9.75. All right. This is good.
Got Arturo, Lauren.
What's up, Greg? Good to see you, brother. Bill's a 9. Heck yeah. Joey's a 10. What's up, Joey? Good to see you, man.
Oh, we got a 10 plus from Katie Grace.
Hey.
Always a 10 plus.
What's up, Sharon? Good to see you. Uh-oh.
Did you see this from Mike? -2.
Whoa. Sounds like
Marilyn.
he's talking about the weather. The weather that my friends have been having.
Got it. I'm sick and tired of these damn below freezing temperatures, man. I've been out working at that stuff today. I'm worn out. I'm getting ready to do like somebody did yesterday on the call and go to sleep.
Brandon's 100. That's what I'm talking about.
There you go.
Good to see you, Brandon.
Russell's back. Miss Sterling.
What's up, Russell?
Oh, Sharon says 10 times 2 for Reggie and her.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's cute.
I love it. Who's ready to dive in? Just give me some yeses in the chat. Let's get rolling. In 9, 8, 7. Countdown is on. Boom. Welcome. It is January 28th, 2026. and we have updates for you. We have a new announcement that happened moments ago. Going to be talking about that. Going to be talking about what's happening in the real estate investing market with interest rates, what all has been going on. All right. So come on in. Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. This is the Deal Room, where every Wednesday I go live and I call and negotiate your deals for the Truka family. I call and negotiate your deals live. They're yours to keep. And we have a lot of fun. We do market updates first, then we negotiate your deals. And then here in a little while, we're going to be having a chat with the incredible Marilyn Davis. Marilyn is someone who just spreads joy everywhere she goes, and she started now. Also, adding to that, on top of being a realtor, being someone who also closes and invests in real estate, and very excited for you guys to get to meet and connect with her. For those of you who don't yet know her, and for those of you who do, to gain some insights and takeaways. We have good news and bad news. Just good news. The good news is you guys have submitted quite a few leads. So the bad news is I'm probably going to be going a little while overtime today. All right. So I'm fully aware that some of you guys have hard appointments you have to hit. Show up for the hour and stick around. For those of you who can, we're going to be negotiating deals for a couple. All right. So let's dive in and get started. I'm working on these market updates. What I do right now, I'll tell you my prep is I go online and starting on Sunday, I already love to study markets. So now this gives me an outlet to share out loud what I've been studying. And so every weekend and every Monday, I start digging into the reports. And then, of course, today, huge announcement from Jerome Powell, and one that I assumed would be as it was. And so we'll talk a little bit about that. And then every Wednesday, we come together and talk about how it affects you and real estate investing. So as I am learning this flow and I'm sharing this flow, I love you guys' feedback, because I like to bring you up to speed of what's happening, what I'm seeing, what I'm experiencing in our real estate investing market, but also how it affects you guys. Of course, as you know, we buy creatively, so the interest rates don't affect us so much in direct term, except they still do for those of you who do some traditional financing. They still do for those of us who are buying and selling houses, because more buyers are now coming into the marketplace thanks to the rates. So rates this week are back under 6%. And today, as figured, Fed's held the rates steady. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Davos speech last week. We talked about it some, but a couple more announcements that were brushed over. And I'm going to talk about the December sales for 2025. We wrapped up the year strong, and we had a 3-year high in December. All right, so this is the market update. And before I get in, Stephanie, can we play that video from NAR?
Existing home sales increased 5.1% month over month in December and 1.4% from a year ago. Home prices increased for the 30th consecutive month to $405,400, a 0.4% increase. This is a good sign for the housing market. Overall, in 2025, it was a tough year for home buyers, marked by record high home prices and historically low home sales. However, in the fourth quarter, conditions began to improve with lower mortgage rates and slower home price growth. December home sales, after adjusting for seasonal factors, were the strongest in nearly 3 years. The gains were broad-based, with all 4 major regions improving from the prior month. Inventory levels remain tight, with only 3.3 months supply, a decrease of 18.1% from a month ago.
Boom. So, some good news that is coming down the pipeline. It's what I've been telling you guys with springtime hitting like it is. I believe that the strength of the market's going to continue increasing as rates right now are holding steady, but I'm predicting at least one, probably a handful of rate drops as this year goes on. You know, something that has happened over the years, if you study the markets, is a lot of times when the jet fuel starts happening in the economy, the Fed, in that case, controls that a bit. And as you know, as you hear me talk about, Trump's decisions is to put the economy on super speed. And part of doing that is putting in somebody who's chair of the Fed who is going to lower rates. So first, the rates that actually matter. As of this Monday, 30-year fixed mortgage is hanging out just under 6. 15-year fixed is hanging out in the mid to low 5s. And the 30-year refinance is hanging out in the mid 6s. And as I started off by saying, we're back under the 6% on purchase rates. And this is the second time that this has happened in 3 weeks. And the first 2 times it's happened now since back in 2023. So big shift happening there. The markets this week were, my belief, pricing in for the Fed meeting that was happened today and just happened today. The mortgage-backed security buybacks that Trump announced a few weeks ago has been working. And I believe that is making a big difference in keeping rates down in the 5s, low 5s for the 15-year, mid 5s, and high 5s for the 30-year. So next, Jerome Powell. He came out today and he talked about holding steady. I didn't have time to deep dive into everything that he talked about because it just happened. And as far as I know, he was still live when we went live. He was when I come in for pre-show prep at least. And so with inflation being where it is and still hanging out at 2.8%, they're saying, and labor markets is sending, as they say, mixed signals. They said in December we added 60,000 jobs, but Powell's suggesting those numbers may be off and may be up for adjustment. And then, of course, Trump loves tariffs. And so with tariffs creating certain uncertainty, the Fed continues to react and hold steady in that way. So Powell, of course, as you have heard me say, he's out in 4 months anyway, if he lasts that long. And he's got a lot of pressure on him, being subpoenaed by the DOJ and being pushed. Of course, his take on that is that he's being attacked. And the Supreme Court is weighing in on Lisa Cook's removal. So a lot of things that are happening there that create some uncertainty. But what we do know is by the middle of the year, Trump appoints somebody new. And by the middle of the year, no doubt that person is going to be someone who's lowering rates and helps put the economy at the next level speed. So while there's several different predictions out there, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Morningstar, different ones, how many cuts there's going to be, I believe by the middle of the year, at least post Powell, there will start to be rate cuts, which again, who here knows that if rates start to go down, that means more houses are more affordable to more buyers for that season. And during that season, there has been about 5.5 million people priced out of buying homes the last little while. And there has been an increase in sales over the last few weeks now. And who here realizes what supply and demand does? When there's more demand with low inventory, prices tend to do what? Go up. All right. So as we're going through this market update, I'm going to give you guys a few more quick bullet points, and then we're going to dive into live dials. And as always, when we're doing live dials, make sure you're typing your questions in the chat with a Q in front of them because I like to answer all your questions. And if you're thinking it, probably somebody else is too. What's up, Lacey? Good to see you. So next, Trump announced in Davos, it was talking about and he actually signed the executive order banning institutional investors. Now, what does that actually mean in real life is up for debate. You know, what things this has to go through. It's still very fuzzy. A couple things Trump said, a couple quotes for you guys. Homes are built for people, not corporations. It's just not fair to the public. They are not able to buy a house. He talked about Wall Street. Many of you, he says to Wall Street, are my good friends. Many of you are supporters. Sorry to do this. I'm so sorry, but you're driving up house prices by purchasing hundreds of thousands of single-family homes. And he said this, which I thought was interesting. He said, a person can't get depreciation on a house, but when a corporation buys it, they can. So he's floating possibility of shifts there in the tax law, which the big beautiful tax bill, a big beautiful bill last year, continued to favor real estate investors in a big way. He also said, I'm very protective of people that already own a house. Every time you make it more and more affordable for somebody to buy a house cheaply, meaning prices come down, you can actually hurt the value of those who have houses, obviously, because the one thing that works in tandem with the other, which I thought was interesting as he grappled publicly with that, because as he's talking about the prices and the balance of knowing where should I be lowering prices, where should I be increasing prices, do we go with the fact of stagnating the economy a bit and causing potentially prices to lower, except if prices lower, a bunch of people who have equity and a lot of people, that's their retirement, it starts to hurt them. So I think there's going to be some happy mediums here of pulling levers with the economy, putting the economy on jet fuel, if you will, starting to speed it up. And at the same time, knowing our president's a real estate developer, a real estate investor, and I agree with a lot of the things that he does. He has been talking about capping the 10% rates, which I believe if that was to actually happen, that credit card rates got capped at 10%, it would actually just cut out a lot of people who currently are having access to capital. And there's, of course, a variety of thoughts without going too deep into that of how that might affect things. But in the end, if that was to happen, I think it would just make capital less available to people who have less than stellar credit. So this is what gets exciting to me. Month over month in December, we were up 5.1% in home sales. Year over year, 1.4%. This is the highest level since February 2023 and the third consecutive months, as I shared in the news earlier in the news video, that sales continued to increase. So while 2025 was low in annual sales, the lowest they say that it's been in several decades, the interesting part is that by quarter four, sales start increasing. Now, what does this mean to you as real estate investors? Why do I share this? Because I believe you as real estate investors should know what the heck is going on in the marketplace, because it's not scary to us when we know what's going on and we know how to position ourselves in the path of progress. There's a huge, as you've heard me say, transfer of wealth happening, and I want you to be best prepared to be on the right side of that transfer of wealth. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So in the areas that we love buying, in the Midwest and, the Louisville, Kentucky, the Kansas City, Missouri, and the Indianapolis, Indiana, and all of that area in there, their houses prices are continuing to rise modestly. Of course, in the Sun Belt, we've seen a little bit of declines and various predictions around that. But overall, I believe it's a great time. And as long as you're using the strategies that I teach, which is A, get them way below value, or B, get them with terms, payments over time with low or no interest, then you're going to be doing very well. So if you're going in the Midwest, if any of you are buying houses traditionally or refining houses for any reason, then get that going, because with spring 6 weeks away, I think that's going to uptick the market. And if you're going to the Sun Belt, build your target list. Track the distressed sellers. It's a massive opportunity to help a lot of people. Be ready to move fast as prices continue to struggle a little bit for those homeowners. Remember, FinCEN is 32 days away, March 1st. If you're buying houses and you're closing them, make sure you're planning for that, especially if you're just now contracting deals that you're planning on closing around that time. Remember the extra fee and the extra time delays that might be coming along. So the investor ban Trump's talking about, who knows how it will come down, how it will actually affect. If it does, there's been nothing that I've heard talking about investors being forced to sell. It's just been talking about investors being required to not buy for the institutional people, which, by the way, is a tiny, tiny percent, less than 1% of the housing that is selling. So it's a tiny shift, probably great for politics, great for perspective, but a tiny shift. Again, as real estate investors, know what is happening and how it affects you. All right. Now, I want to share with you something. You hear me talk about duplicating effort. You hear me talk about building true wealth. something I want to point out to you before we get into live dials for those of you who are here and we get into questions and live dials is I want to point out something that I learned years ago. And this is the most simplistic way. It's not exactly how I teach. It's a way that we enter the marketplace. Those of you who are around, you know I talk a lot about Bofslow, which is a way that any of us can go out and type it in the chat, gather deeds in today's marketplace. We can go out and gather deeds. How do we gather deeds? We gather deeds by going out and asking sellers the right questions. We either buy with payments over time or we buy with cash way below value. Your cash, private money cash, bank cash, doesn't matter. Your job is to gather deeds. Now, why do I love Bofslow? Because it puts anybody in a duplicatable position to be able to go out and start building portfolio. Now, I learned something years ago. In 2016, I found a real estate investor. And I was 22 at the time. And I found this real estate investor. I'm 22 years old. And I go to make an offer on a trailer park that he's looking to sell. And he pulls up in his Porsche, and that was impressive to me. I'm 22 years old, and I'm going, that's a cool car. And he's a gentleman in probably his late 60s. And I start talking to him. I go out to his office. His office is a 1980s brown paneling, 1980s mobile home because it's in a mobile home park. And I sit down in his office and I'm asking him questions. I didn't understand back then really how to ask great questions, but I started asking him questions. And I said to him, I was like, what is it that you're selling this for? Like, why are you selling this one park? Because I met him at another one of his parks. And he goes, well, I have 4 of them. This is my least performing one. He said, and my business model over the last several years has been, I will refinance my park every 8 years. Okay, that's interesting. He says, so I have 4 parks. So every other year I refinance a park. Every 8 years, the debt's been paid down substantially. And he says, so I net X tens of thousands of dollars a month from my mobile home parks. I think at the time it was like 20-something thousand a month he was netting. He said, so that's my income, my $250,000 a year of income. He said, but every other year when I refinance one of the parks, I normally pull out between $200,000 and $300,000 cash from the debt pay down. Well, I'm doing the math. I'm 22 years old and I'm going $250,000 from passive cash flow plus debt. I didn't even understand depreciation and appreciation and all that other cool stuff back then. And I'm going, oh my gosh. So this guy's cranking from sitting on 4 parks. He's cranking $250,000 a year from cash flow plus another $100,000 to $200,000 a year through refinances that he does every 8 years per park. You guys tracking? Yes. Everybody getting what I'm sharing here? And he said, I just decided to sell one of them. He has everything he needs to live the rest of his life well. Going, wow, what a cool thing. And so that opened up my mind as a 22-year-old who didn't know the first thing about real estate investing outside of just I'd been buying houses and was just learning the game. I started to understand the benefit of refinancing to pull out cash tax-free and holding properties and letting them pay themselves down. I started understanding renting money and letting tenants pay the rent on that money. And the simplest way, I'm just sitting at home going, I didn't know money works this way. Type it in the chat, money is math. All right? I just didn't understand money even worked that way. I'm like, how does this work? And so coming from a background doing construction, working really hard, getting paid by the hour, I'm sitting here going, whoa, that's like a money tree. I thought growing up, money didn't grow on trees. I learned now it does, right? And so you start to understand a different way of playing the game. And that's what this show is about. This is to show you a different way of playing the game. Regardless of where you are, I want you to be able to gather deeds, and I want you to then be able to fill your tool belt. I don't talk a lot about it, but fill your tool belt, whether that be with buying notes, whether that be with doing the tax deeds, whether that be with cash deals, whatever it may be that you can add to your tool belt, as long as we start with Boslow, as long as we start building legacy wealth along the way. All right? So that's what this show is all about. I want to ask you on YouTube, if it's your first time here, just give me a 1 in the chat on YouTube. If it's you've been here before, give me a 2. I see several new people in the YouTube chat, and I just want to say hello to you guys. Welcome in. JT, welcome into the family, brother. It's so good to see you, man. And what a great time. All right. Do we have any questions, Stephanie, before I start dialing these sellers?
We sure do. They were hot on those.
Heck yeah.
Here we go. How about this one? This is from Russell. What about the government shutdown and how will it affect flights to Houston?
That's a good question. So I have a perspective on that, Russell. Doesn't mean I'm right, but I think I am. What's up, Juan? Good to see you. Welcome in for the first time. David, good to see you. Welcome in for the first time. Charles, Addie, good to see you. What a great crew. All right, well, welcome in to all my first-timers on YouTube. Welcome in. So, Russell, my perspective on this, and this happened before government shutdown happened not too long ago, and, only thing that and I'm saying this very loosely. I want you to understand the heart of where this comes from. And that is that news articles are meant to get reactions. That's it. I remember the last time we had a government shutdown, and years ago, I remember actually first time Trump was in, and I think it was a new record of government shutdown at that time. I was selling a house on USDA financing. And I remember it took the closing an extra 60 days because a government loan, right? So can it affect things like that? Sure. I remember, though, last time, Russell, I'm looking at the news and everywhere. There's, by the way, more bots on the internet than there are humans. And according to Elon, in 5 years, there's going to be more humanoid robots than there are people in 5 years. Probably closer to 10, but Elon says 5. We'll see what happens. I share that because, Russell, we're getting news articles. I'm reading news reports. We had an event coming up. It was November. And I said to the crew, government shutdown's in full swing. And I am getting news articles about lines out the wazoo. Lines all up, backing up the airports. People are staying there. Flights are canceled. All of this crap. And if you watch the news, we're in apocalypse at the time. And it was interesting. I go to the airport here, just a normal wait, hop on a plane, no worries. And my team asked me, they said, do you think it will affect the event? I said, absolutely not. I said, I know our people. They don't do the media hype. And we watch the news, we know what's going on, but we also understand that everything has a certain frame. And at Mercedes, one of our incredible team members, shout out Mercedes if you're on here, she's in Atlanta. So I'm like, if anything's going to be crowded, it's going to be Atlanta. She gets there a couple hours early just to make sure. She sends the whole team a video. And the caption for the video she sends us is Ghost Town. Atlanta Airport. So many people bought the hype, it wasn't even the normal traffic. It was empty. And so, yes, it could affect. And by the way, this is the way I think as a business owner, and we're going to get these dials live. As a business owner, I'm asking, how does this news article affect me? Yes, I want to find out the facts. But also, what is the person writing this news article trying to get me to believe or think, right? And I think in that way, because if you don't have clear, you should get clear. Clear is like a couple $100, a year or 5 years or something. And you go in there and you cut the line every time. You can now go to the Clear booth and in under 5 minutes sign up for Clear, and in under 5 minutes upgrade to TSA pre-check if you don't already have that. And now you bypass the line anyway. And by the way, if you travel more than like twice a year, you should do both of those things. You'll thank me later. So, oh yeah.
Do you know this one?
I have no idea.
Hasta la vista, baby.
All right, what movie is it? Stephanie's picking on me again, guys. I need you to bail me out.
Heather Anderson's got it.
Heather. Terminator. Yes. All right. I learned something new again. All right. Who's ready for live dials? Give me a yes in the chat. We're going to start talking to some sellers, see if we can negotiate one of these deals. All right. First off, we are calling. Shout out to Anya for keeping me on track. First off, we are calling Robert on Storm Mountain Drive.
Yay, good one.
Hi, this is Bob from me.
All right, we're going to double dial him. Step one, get him on the phone. I'm going to give you guys a couple takeaways that you're going to want to implement in your business. Number one, make sure that as you're dialing these people, you are scheduling the follow-ups. The follow-ups, nothing changes. We have nothing but hot air until we get a purchase agreement. And when we have the conversation, very few of them are going to be ready to move forward immediately. Now, some of them are, especially when you're dealing with these hot leads who called you. So be the first one to call them, except most of them are going to go to a follow-up. In fact, we probably have some follow-ups today. Hey, it's Andrew calling you back. Oh, this is Darren's lead. This is Wooden Avenue. He answered, but he hung up.
That's George.
Hey, it's Andrew calling you back on the Wooden Avenue property. How are you?
Very good, sir.
Good. I think you talked to my partner. I was interested in that property. I was just trying to get up to speed here. From my understanding, you're looking to sell this property and also a restaurant, and sounds like you got a lot of moving pieces. Can you take 60 seconds and bring me up to speed of what all you're looking to potentially sell?
Yes, sir. The house that is on 850 Wooden, I'm looking to sell it
Yeah.
because I need to pay off my balance to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
And also, the money that I had left, I need to pay my restaurant so I can have a title free and clear and sell my restaurant.
Uh-huh. Okay. And how much do you owe on the Wooden Avenue house?
Like $75,000 to $80,000.
Okay. And do you have a balloon on it, or you just want to be debt free?
That's a $330,000 house, or I'm selling it for $229,000 as is.
Uh-huh. How much would you have to put into it to make it worth the, the 350 or so?
Oh, like $20,000?
Mm-hmm.
All that I had somebody that went in there and told me that to do it's just the kitchen need to be remodeled. Kitchen and one of the bathrooms need to have the cabinet. So they say $15,000 to $20,000 at the most.
Okay. All right. And then the 75,000, is that due to the bank like at a certain day, or you just want to pay it off whenever you get the house sold, sometime?
It's for plus, and that's what I need the money to pay them off as soon as possible.
How far behind is it?
Like 6 months, but I have a lawyer that is working with me.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then how much is the monthly payment on the 75 before it got behind?
$1,000.
Is it a traditional bank, or is it like a private lender or something?
No, it's a traditional bank.
How much is taxes and insurance on the property?
So 1,800. And the insurance will depends on the customer.
Mm-hmm. How much is the insurance?
Depends on the customer. Me, I pay like $600 per year, something like that.
You live in that house?
No, somebody else is living on it. This for rent.
Okay. How much do they pay you a month in rent?
2,000. 2,000 every month.
If we
That house is close to the KU Medical Center, so then it's in one of the best areas that Kansas City, Kansas has. So it always will be people interested to rent the house. The only reason why I'm selling is because I had to pay off my restaurant. Otherwise, I will never sell it. So because that place right there always will be renters only because the schools district is good. Also, it's like 5 minutes away from KU Medical Center, so it's a really good location.
How if we could buy it from you, pay the closing. Of course, I'm not a realtor, so there's no 6% commission or nothing like that. How soon do you need to get it wrapped up? Like, how long do you have on the foreclosure?
No problem with the house. However, I have problem with my restaurant. I need to sell my restaurant as soon as possible.
Okay. How much do you owe on your restaurant?
Like 140.
Okay. And how far behind's that payment?
That payment is it's only like 4 months. However, I financing owner to owner, and my restaurant worth like $1.5 million. And that's why the owner is trying to make me forfeit the payment. So he take it away from me. So I need to pay him off so he can get out of the contract because he knows that it's worth a lot of money and he's trying to take it from me.
Yeah. How much?
Mm-hmm.
What's the address of the restaurant? How do you spell the street name? Okay, perfect. And then if you're selling the restaurant too, or you're only selling the house and you want to keep the restaurant?
No, I wanted to sell the restaurant too. The rent on the restaurant that I've been offered is $10,000 per month.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 6,100 square feet restaurant.
Yeah. Okay. So if we bought the house, let's take them one at a time. If we bought the house, knowing that we're not realtors, so there's no commission or nothing, and we could close, whatever, in a couple weeks, like what's the absolute least you would take on purchase price to get this paid off and cash in your pocket in the next 2 weeks or so?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, if we can close it up and there's no commissions, no realtor fees, we close with our attorney, we pay for all the closing documents. What's the absolute least you would take on purchase price, all cash for the house?
The most that I will be able to go down on the price is $10,000. So 219.
Interesting. What's the least you would take on the purchase price on the restaurant?
1.2 million. But the restaurant, it had like $200,000 in equipment inside, and I'm selling it with everything inside.
Mm-hmm. What do
you used to be a nightclub too, so it has equipment for the nightclub, sound system, lights, and everything for the nightclub.
What are you going to do if these don't sell in the next 30 days? What happens then?
Nothing, because I had lawyers for both, so I can drag this for the next 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I also have a car business which I'm doing well right now. So, and I'm here in tax season.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing the car business for 20 years, and I sell like in tax season, which is 4 months, I sell like over 200 cars. So I can put the money together to pay off the restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So if we could, how many dollars behind is the restaurant?
What behind is not too much, or like that's what I say. But the person that financed the restaurant, he want me to pay off the completely loan.
Yeah. Okay. So if we could, I'm not saying we could, I'm just asking if, because I'm looking at the numbers here. If we could pay off the loans for you, that would be just over 200. If we could pay off the loans and get the foreclosure situations handled, and if we could give you, around 1.3 or 1.4 for both properties, if we could, like, would you be willing for us to pay off your debts now and then you get your payout later when we resell the properties?
Uh, that's something that I can look into. Mhm.
And is it so the restaurant, your restaurant is there? If we buy the restaurant, are you wanting to rent it back?
No,
Okay,
I just wanted to sell out.
got it. And is there currently an active restaurant in there or no?
It was 2 months ago. I just closed it. I have it open for 2 years. My mother cannot work anymore, and my father sadly passed away.
Mhm.
And they were the two people that was in charge of the restaurant. That's what I wanted to sell it because I don't have anybody else to run it. I'm a car businessman, so I don't like the rest. I cannot work in the restaurant.
Do you have an appraisal on the restaurant by chance?
I have a appraisal for years ago, 6 years ago, for 1.25, $1,025,000 5 years ago or 6 years ago.
Okay. All right.
So I was like the professional people
Mm-hmm.
that did it.
Okay. So what we probably could do, let me ask you on the house, do you have an appraisal on the house?
No, a realtor come and check it. And the MLS showed that the value is 329,000. All the houses around have sold from 260,000 about. The highest house that sold was 340,000.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
If we could give you 180 for the house, would that be doable for you?
No, because it's not enough for me to pay off the restaurant. So I'm not planning to put any money in my pocket. I just wanted to pay off the house and pay off the restaurant.
Yeah. If we could,
Yeah, I put I put $1 million into this restaurant cash out of my pocket because everything in there is new. It's like one of the best restaurants in town. It has like 80 parking spots. It has a building on the back that needs to be renovated, but that building can be a different business. It's one of the kind. That restaurant is one of the kind. So it is big, beautiful, a lot of potential. It has a lot of parking. Like I already have 2 buyers. The only reason why I didn't sell it is because the people, I only owe 100 and something thousand dollars in the restaurant.
Yeah.
So when the guy find out that the place worth $1.5 million, he got sick on his head, and he's trying to take it away from me. That's why I cannot sell it because we're between courts.
mm-hmm. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So if I could buy the 2 properties, and give you 200,000 down to pay off your debts, round numbers, 215 down, would you take 1.2 for both properties?
1.2. Oh, I had to talk to my brother. So I had to talk to my brother, but that. But will you have the 1.2 ready?
So I would be buying them both from you. I would be paying you 215,000 cash. So you pay off the debts, be free and move on. And then we would agree on the remaining almost $1 million that you was owed, 975,000, of how you get that paid out. We would be paying you that out over time. Make sense?
And when you say overtime, like how much time?
Till we resell them. So we'd pay you, we'd be responsible for, maintenance, repairs, taxes, insurance. We'd pay you every month until we resold the property, at which time we'd pay you off in full.
Okay. So let me talk to my brother right now, which is the only person that has anything to do with the restaurant. Let me talk to him. Let me sit down, put some number together, and I can get back with you as soon as possible.
Perfect. When, maybe tomorrow around this same time period, would that work for you for us to talk again?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right. We'll call you back this time tomorrow. Thank you, brother.
Okay. Thank you, sir. You have a good day.
All right. You too. Bye for now. All right. Way to go. So type your questions in the chat, put a Q in the front of them, get them going. And I'm going to give you guys a recap of what my brain was doing there, just so you guys know. By the way, shout out to Stephanie. Everybody give Stephanie a great big shout out in the chat, our incredible executive producer. She come over to the studio and showed me how to connect my iPad so I can actually, by next week, God willing, be drawing out my notes instead of paper, which is going to be hard for me to get away from, be writing out my notes on an iPad where you guys get to see it. So here's what just happened there. You guys get value out of that? Yes? You guys digging that? All right. What just happened there is the Darylyn submitted a lead. Shout out Darylyn. And this lead is a seller. For any of you who had difficulty with hearing him well, the lead is a seller. He claims the house is worth $350. But Andrew, what if it's not $350? Well, we'll find that out in due diligence. He may be full of crap. It may be worth $250. Also, it might be worth $400. We don't know. I just looked it up on Zillow while we're talking to him. So he says it's worth $350. We have no reason not to believe him right now. So assuming it's worth $350, and he come down to $210 on the price. Okay, so he left $140K in equity there. That makes it worth doing as a cash deal. $20K in, assuming his numbers are right. Now, I get it for my thinker brains or my control freaks, my fellow control freaks out there. You're going, oh my gosh, what if it needs 40 in work? We'll find all that out between here and close. Darylyn's entire risk is going to be a $100 deposit on the darn thing. All right? Who here's willing to risk $100 to potentially make back six figures? Yes? Okay. Or just $5. All right? Yes, of course. It's the cost of doing business. No risk, no goodies. All right. So in talking to him, Darylyn finds out he also has a restaurant. Now, again, maybe total crap full of hot air. But according to what he just says, he's got a restaurant that he wants 1.2 for it. He wants to sell it. He wants to get the loan paid off because he's about to lose it to foreclosure. Now, he's playing calm, cool, and collected. God bless him. I get it. Except the reality is he has an attorney. If he really has an attorney, if what he's told me is true, he's spending $5,000 a month, give or take, holding this foreclosure off, protecting his hope and prayer for upside equity in this deal. Because the person, again, taking what he just said, who knows what missing facts there are, but this person knows if they take back this property that he owes them $150K on, then the owner gets to own it, and the dude ain't going to be able to get his $200K of equipment. If it's really a $200K of equipment, which based on past experience, it's probably $52,000 of equipment valued at $200 according to the seller. But neither here nor there. So he wants to sell the darn thing. It's $150,000. He wants to get it paid off. And now he is looking at, and look at it from his perspective. Without us, he knows good and well, even though he's playing cool, calm, and collected, that he's got to keep spending thousands every month and potentially lose 100% of the properties. With us, he gets to get the loans paid off. He gets to quit having his phone blown up with foreclosures and bullcrap, quit dealing with attorneys and headaches, quit dealing with nonsense, and get paid out hundreds of thousands of dollars later. It's a win for him. It's a win for us. Everybody wins. Darylyn, tomorrow, remind us on the daily dials. We will give him a call back. And I suggest on the house part that's something you may want to just take out a loan, or you may want to partner with someone depending on where you are financially and experience-wise. But on the restaurant, I'm going to recommend you partner with one of the guys in the community who does commercial, and we can hook you up with that. Good stuff?
Excellent. Thank you. Great. Thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Do we have more questions?
We sure do. Hold on a second. I just had to play that one. Do you know where that's from? You probably don't. Okay.
That's Harry Belafonte, I think, or something like
Harry
that.
Belafonte did that in 1959.
Yeah. Yes.
I learned something new again.
All right. Question: is any of the restaurant items leased or have payments owed? I guess that's a question that you would ask.
You would ask the seller, but according to him,
Yeah, I
he
think
says
he paid for them.
Yeah, he said I have $200,000 of equipment that would insinuate that they're his and he owns them.
Got it.
Yeah, and he told me he recently did another 9,000 in upgrades and stuff in the restaurant recently. Yeah.
What else we got?
Here's a question from David. Let me read it to you. It says, do you close on your owner finance purchases before putting a lease option tenant in the home, or start showing property to prospective lease option tenants as soon as you contract property?
100% your choice. I buy them, negotiate them in a way that I am comfortable closing on them. So yes, I don't remember the last time I waited until close to do so. Almost always I close immediately and then go find a tenant buyer. The rare exception to that, David, a great question, by the way, is when I was starting out and I wasn't as confident in the numbers, and I didn't have the Truka community to help me be confident in the numbers. Also, when I was starting out and I didn't have access to capital or understand, frankly, I had access, I guess. I just didn't understand it. And so I would sometimes, if I had to put out, $5K to close a deal, I would wait till and let the seller know. My gosh, if you're ever waiting to close till you have a tenant buyer, make sure you tell the seller so you don't have all the headache of trying to hide crap. That's just not a good way to do business. So yes, close the darn thing, partner somebody in if you got to, if it's good enough, and then resell it. If you got to wait, then just be transparent with everybody. What else we got?
From Miss Karen, what in the world would you do with a restaurant? Don't you have to find someone to buy a restaurant? Her mind is blown.
Yes, good question. So for a restaurant, and this is, you're probably getting, without getting too into the weeds, because this I know is not necessarily a commercial property show, except apparently it is today. What happens is you're probably going to get a triple net lease, Karen. You're probably going to find a realtor who specializes in people but who knows? 5,100 square feet, this may be a car dealership. We don't yet know how the location is laid out. It may be a car dealership. It might be a restaurant. It might be who knows what. Turn it into offices. But when you're talking about if it's in a prime location, as it appears to be, and if it's in a growing area, as it appears to be, then it's very likely that this thing could be a home run deal. And don't forget, again, we got a lot of due diligence to do between now and then, but if you can buy something worth 1.4 and you can give somebody, and I'm going to share this real quick for the new ones on here, for the math, if we put 200 down on 2 projects, imagine you go to somebody to borrow that private money or partner. Imagine you say to them, I will give you a first mortgage on the house for $100,000 that's worth $350,000. Who here realizes that a lot of lenders giddy to do that deal? Imagine you go to a lender and you say, I'll give you first mortgage on this $1.2 million restaurant in return for $150K loan. Now you got your $250 down plus holding costs. And Mr. Seller here has agreed to carry the note with potentially my objectives on tomorrow's call. And the follow-up is going to be make sure that we wait to start making payments to the seller until we can do something with the darn restaurant, anticipating it's going to take 6 months to put somebody in there. So if You buy the house with zero money out of your pocket. And if the payments are $0 a month for those first 6 months, who here could come up with that money to close the deal? It's a trick question. Of course, all of you could. So understand that. And that's how we structure deals. The value is in the structure. Now, if he said, I want 1.2 for a 1.3 restaurant, but I want 10% interest and 30% down, that's a massively different story than I want 1.2 for a 1.5 restaurant, or in this case, $1 million is what we just discussed, 1.2 for both projects, $1 million for the restaurant, and just enough down, and him carrying the risk. He is carrying the risk with us. So if he lied to us, it's in his best interest to be transparent, because that's how he's going to get paid, is when we get to sell it. All right. What are the questions we got?
Do you have a professional inspector or appraiser out there before close or anytime after?
Awesome question. Most of the time, out of over 500 deals, most of the time, Jane, I just have boots on the ground to go look through that I know, like, and trust. And so, for example, if I'm buying a deal, I'm going to call somebody I know, like, and trust in the area, with 2 exceptions. Number one, if I don't have boots on the ground in the area, then yes, I'm going to hire a professional. It's a whole lot better to spend $1,000 on an appraisal and a inspection than it is, or commercial appraisal, you're looking at a couple grand, but more on appraisal and inspection, and risk losing that money than it is find out afterwards that you got burned. The second thing is, the second time I get an appraisal or inspection is if my boots on the ground goes through and we're having trouble because it's an odd property, or there's some oddity to it, or some big question mark around the value or the condition, at which point we'll go get an appraiser or a inspection, depending on what the case may be. Good questions. What else we got?
This one keeps coming up. How are you finding deals?
How am I finding deals? What a great question. So I will tell you the conversation we just had. That lead, let me look, came from Facebook Marketplace. Let's go, Darylyn. So to answer your question, Facebook Marketplace, Zillow, those are the free places where FSBOs roam, and you guys should absolutely be going out and digging into those. Now, for a lot of us, Joe and Judith, you're going to hear me talk to their sellers here in just a moment. Some others of you, you're doing PPL. Joe and Judith are crushing it with property lead source. iSpeed to lead. You can buy packages of leads. Motivatedsellers.com, another good one. FastHomeOffer.com, a whole bunch of sources that I can turn you on to that get you either A, great lists, or B, great leads. And those are going to cost you some more money. What else we got?
Let's see here. I think those are the majority of the questions. Unless you guys didn't put the Q, then I missed it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Keep them coming, guys. All right. So what we're going to do is, by the way, you see the QR code on your screen if you haven't already grabbed your toolkit. For those of you who are in the Zoom room, you're part of the Truka fam. You've got access to the toolkit, whether you know it or not. But for those of you who are on YouTube, scan the QR code and grab it for a special today. All right. I am going to have Stephanie to play a brand new brief video for you that John has made. And I'm going to play that video, and then I'll be right back, and we're going to have a chat with Marilyn. And then we're going to call and negotiate some more deals live in front of you. All right? So What a beautiful crew. Give it up for the crew. Heck yeah. Good to see you guys. All right. By the way, if you have not already got your name in for Houston, we are going to be together. Seeing that video doesn't make you want to come hang out. I don't know what does. We are going to be together in Houston live February 11, 12, and 13. Make sure you've let Ricky know. If you don't already have your tickets, grab your tickets. If you do already have your tickets, let Ricky know you're coming. All right? Boom. By the way, I see somebody said no sound. You guys hear me okay? Yes? Give me a yes in the chat if you guys hear me. Yes,
You
yes,
sound
yes.
great.
Okay. All right. Cool. Make sure everything's good. All right. Is Marilyn in the house?
Miss Marilyn, one moment.
All right. Hey, my friend. How in the world are you?
I'm good. How are you today, Andrew?
I am phenomenal. I am so excited. We are looking forward to seeing you coming to your neck of the woods, as we say, in a
You
few
are.
short days.
2
Share
weeks.
with me, though. What's that?
2 weeks.
Yes, 2 weeks. Crazy how time flies. We're about to call some more sellers, negotiate some deals live. I just want to shout you out, Marilyn. You're someone whose energy is contagious. And for those of you who are watching this who haven't yet got to meet Marilyn, you definitely want to meet her soon. She's incredible. But I want to hear a little bit about you. You're in Houston, right? Or
Yes,
near
sir.
there. You're in Houston, right? Exactly.
We're on the outskirts, but yeah.
Okay. So you're on the outskirts of Houston. And first off, remind me, how did we meet?
Honestly, I think I was doing something on YouTube
Wow.
and came across you guys. And when Mike got home from his W-2 job, I said, you got to see this.
That's crazy. When was that?
We need to be there. It was February last year.
Exactly a year. Unbelievable. And holy cow. So what was you doing as far as job? You're a realtor, right? So what was you doing in business and life and work when you seen this country boy on YouTube and decided you had to show your husband?
So actually, I got laid off 2 years ago from my corporate job at 25 years.
Yep.
And decided to do real estate investing. After I started the investing, I decided to become an agent so I can keep my commissions because I'm going to cuss at you. My favorite thing was flips when I started.
You know how I feel about the flips, but you
I
get a
do.
pass. You didn't know me back then. So cool. So you came into real estate investing before you found us. You had been through a couple other mentorships, as I know a lot of people listening to this also have. Take me through that journey. What happened? What deals did you get or not get? How has that been to lead us up to February of last year?
So the first one, when I got done, I told Mike I didn't get anything. And he said, don't say that. You did get some. You created your LLC. You started this business. You got all your documents filed. You've learned the basics. And I said, okay, fair enough. Well, then I joined the second one and in mid to late June. And by August, I bought my first flip. And it was with, a lot of people know this guy, Tarek El Musa, actually, for 9 months. And so he actually took the basics and actually got the ball rolling for me.
So I want to take something you said there, and I think this is important. Everybody watching this, many of us, as myself, I'm part of 3 masterminds. Leo and I are part of right now. And everyone that I have joined in the past that wasn't the quantum leap I hoped, I always look in the mirror and I say, well, at least I got something out of it. And it's exactly that. Hey, I got my LLCs. Maybe it wasn't the exact value I anticipated, but some is better than none. You made progress. And I just want to commend you for that outlook first off, or in that case, your husband for that outlook for those other things. Because I know some of you guys have been through that. I know Lisa was. I know others were. And you go through something and it's like, crap, I just didn't get what I needed. And I know that feeling. I've been there. And also, I love your perspective of saying, hey, something happened. So you started doing flips. And then you come along and you decide this Bobslow thing sounds like it might be a fit for you. You started teaming up with others in the community. Kind of take us through the last year. What the heck has been happening in your world?
When it's funny, I have to tell you this. The reason I know it was YouTube is because I build videos of my flips and put them out there on YouTube. So then I came across you, and being the third mentorship, there is reservation about, okay, is this going to propel me where I need or want to be?
Yeah.
But Mike and I both said, let's do it. This feels like a place we belong.
Yeah.
And we have enjoyed every minute of it. I've partnered up with lots of people in the community. I do actually do accountability calls twice a week. There's 10 of us that get together. And then I've closed a deal by teaming up with David Selvin, Mr. Prosperity,
Let's go, David.
and doing his leads because he didn't have enough callers to cover what he's buying because he pays per leads.
Yeah.
So I started calling for him as well. So and now have 2 more under contract.
Nice. Way to go.
Yeah,
So
I'm loving the boss flow.
those are fun. Those are incredible.
I want to finish it. That's
Yes.
my goal by the end of half a year. I'm gonna give I said first quarter, but I think that's pushing a little. It may not be. But
Yeah.
by June, I want to have gone through the whole boss flow process. I have a rental already,
Yeah.
but let's go. Let's do lease option.
That's what I'm talking about. And by the way, I know I already said it, but I adore you. Your energy is so freaking contagious. Every time, if I'm having a good day and I get on the phone with you or I'll hop on a Zoom with you, then my day always like doubles in goodness. It's awesome.
Hey, back at you, Andrew.
And so bring me up to speed. So you're growing in the business, which is very common, by the way. You come in, you start familiarizing yourself with the process, you have some successes, and you're going, okay, I want to start building this legacy wealth now. So take me through before I get there, what has been the biggest surprise about yourself or the business over the last year?
So actually, it's a 2-year thing. Mike will tell you when I first started doing real estate. So I was in the corporate world and I was always very comfortable in my own world, in my skin to a degree.
Yeah.
But when I started doing this stuff, he's like, where'd this woman come from? She talks to everybody.
I love that.
You can't do this. First of all, real estate's a team adventure. And second, you can't do it if you're a mouse. If you're quiet, you have to have the conversations. You have to talk.
Yeah. That's powerful. And
And
I've seen that.
honestly, this family helps me with that. Because I
Sometimes.
feel so comfortable. I feel so comfortable in this family that right now I'm not going, who's watching me? I'm just speaking what I feel and what I know.
Yeah. I didn't have the privilege of knowing you 2 years ago, but I know even a year ago, you have transformed over the last 12 months and your confidence. It's just beautiful.
I owe a lot of that to you.
I love you too. Tell me this. Coming into this world, coming into doing boss flow, coming into expansion, like what is going to happen in 2026 to Maryland? Where are you headed?
Oh, we're going to have 6 digits in the bank account and at least 10 properties.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about. 6 digits, no decimals, right? Only commas?
Right.
Okay.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Way to go.
It's on the vision board.
I love that. And I know it's going to
300K.
happen. I know you'll make it happen. Now, here's a question I have for you. What has been the biggest hang up for you in this business? Because I like, as you know, when we're live here, I like to show the live stuff. I like to show the good and the bad, the ugly, the stuff that's going well, the deals that have closed, the contracts you have got, but also what's you've been doing and you're like, this part kind of sucked. This part was tough. What was that for you?
Oh, you already know that answer, and I think it's a community answer when we all start the phone calls, man.
Yeah.
Getting over the fear. And I was telling the accountability group last night, because I've got some that are still kind of stuck in that. And I said, I think it was Leo that said, what are they going to do to you? Are they going to jump through the phone?
Yeah.
Are they going to smack you? They can say things, but you can let it roll off.
Yeah.
And that helped me so much because the first call I made, I have this raspy voice, and one of the sellers said, "Who's even calling me? Mickey Mouse?" and
Mm.
hung up on me. And then some other guy said some words we shouldn't say when we have everybody looking. And so I got a little distant with the calls, wasn't doing them like I should.
Yeah.
I was making them random out of fear. You know, you make a call, then you get scared again, then you make a call.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like dialing all the time.
Something I'll point out, and all of you watching this, you listening in on this will serve you well. And Marilyn, I know you know this, but what we often perceive as our weakness is our actual superpower. And something about you know, I remember my, because a lot of people, for example, what you just mentioned, your voice being unique. And we have people in the community who have a little bit of an accent, or maybe I have an accent. And so they come in, and I remember when I was hiring someone years ago, my very first acquisition is he had a strong Australian accent. And what others might see as a disadvantage or tough to understand, that was his superpower. And I remember they would be getting calls from all these investors, and I would call them. I was just another white guy calling them, another country boy calling them. And the moment I would say, I'm calling you back about the house on 123 Main Street, you talked to my partner, and they would, the moment, if they didn't remember, they'd go, "Oh, the guy with the Australian accent." Immediately, I was unique above all else because the guy who originally called for me. And so, for all of you, I want you to know that about yourself. If you have a voice, if you have an accent, if you have a different thing, lean into that. If you're country and you got a country accent, by the way, if you guys would have heard me 10 years ago, you wouldn't recognize me. So, like, it's okay. Just lean into that. And Marilyn, you are incredible in doing that. And know that you're memorable, because that's the shift that I think takes us from struggling sometimes. Because I remember I used to what I call pray and dial and pray they didn't answer, right? I was terrified. I still remember it like it was yesterday, sitting in my bedroom in my parents' house with a blue wall in front of me in the dark corner. I don't think I even had a desk lamp at the time. I just remember sitting there, the blue wall, dialing, and it sucked. People would say mean things, and then I would be like, crap, do I suck? And so, way to go for you, just pushing through and crushing that. Now, I want to ask you this. What has been the biggest mindset? Somebody's listening to this. Maybe they're struggling to get dials or going, crap, I hear Andrew doing the dial and it sounds, smooth, just going to the next thing, or his brain, puts the pieces together. Like, taking us back, being closer to the beginning of that journey. What's that shift for you that's taken you from like, what am I going to say? What if they say this, to now closing deals like you are?
So my biggest thing was all of it, period, Andrew. Again, I owe to the Truka family, period. But it was listening, being coachable, sending my calls to a man. That was a game changer. And I sent him one and told him when I sent it, I said, I bombed. And he goes, "And you still sent me the call?"
I love that.
But just take your peers, do your coaching. So, like at first, when I'd get stuck on a bad day or, just feel like out of sorts making the calls, I would actually get on circle and watch your coaching. And it helped with the momentum and the energy I needed to get through.
And I think that's something, you just said there, and that is what motivates us. What gives us that unique edge? To this day, I still have certain things I listen to, and I build momentum, and I go back and I re-listen to. And I just remember in the beginning, I'm going, gosh, sub two, wraparound mortgage, debt takeover, owner finance, lease option. Like, what? I don't even know what all this crap means. And so that's, of course, where I simplified it. I said either it's payments over time or it's cash below value, except I listen over and over and over to the segments of deal structures, any recording I could find. Of course, you've got a whole circle of me teaching all the deal structures now. But when you listen to something enough times as humans, they say it takes what, 16 times to hear it, to get it. And you hear it enough times, and that's why we do this Wednesday show. I want you to hear it over and over before it's second nature, and you're going, we usually go with nothing down, and you're like, what the heck? Who just said that? And so that's what I love for you.
And the other thing is, don't get stuck on, and this is what I told the group last night too, as a matter of fact, don't get stuck on next step. Use the out that I caught from you one of the very first trainings. You always tell us, let me get with my team.
Yeah.
Well, one person said, well, I don't really have a team. I said, what do you call this?
Yeah.
This is a team.
Powerful.
So you're not lying. And when you don't know the answer, don't not call, because some of them were like, well, I don't know what to say. Yeah. What if they ask this? And I was like, wing it.
Yeah.
Get with your team.
MSU, make stuff up.
Yeah. And I'd call David or get on Circle or ask you a question when we're doing our coaching stuff.
Absolutely. And I think that's the difference, and for me, and I don't recommend you make it part of your script if you're brand new saying, hey, my name's Andrew, I'm brand new and I'm calling to buy your house. But when I was new starting out, I remember the second house I ever went to buy. And someone asked me, he's like, how long have you been doing this? I was like, 30 days. He's like, how many have you done? I said, this is my second one if you sell it to me. And it was just and I probably said it in a likely unconfident way, except I had nothing to hide in that case. Let me get with my team. Let me get with my partner. Let me get with the Truka fam, right? And you're doing that thing that is just transparent. And if somebody asks you, and by the way, there's certain gift when you have nothing to hide. There's a certain gift, and it's like, it is what it is. If the seller doesn't want to sell to you because you're new, then cool. They can go sell to somebody who's experienced and probably get beat up worse on price or something. Like, it's cool. And once you change that, what's that?
It wasn't your deal.
Exactly right. And there's always a better one right behind it. Marilyn, what's the shift that you want to be able to see everyone on here have to have a more successful 2026? What's a word of advice or wisdom for everyone?
Listen to the coaching. Be coachable. And do the hard things.
Yeah. I have another question for you. What right now is a bottleneck in your business that you need to solve to make sure you have 6 figures in the bank accounts and 10 properties by the end of the year?
Private money.
Good. I say good because that's such an easy solve.
That's what you tell me. That's what Mr. Prosperity says too.
Yeah.
He said, find the deal. I'll help. We'll figure it out.
Exactly right. And I want you to start reviewing all the challenges that, Marilyn and another community member on a call yesterday, on a coaching call, asked me a question, and they asked such a brilliant question. And I love your perspective in this, Marilyn. They didn't say, how do I find more private money? They said, how do I become the person who attracts more private money? And I mentioned that because the difference maker in the way we perceive things, because I often have people come to me, we do talk a lot about growing legacy wealth. We talk about automating, using AI and building team. And we talk about automating, and I all the time have people come to me and say, how do I find a great team? Well, that part's easy. I can show you where to go find great team members this afternoon. What's not easy is helping the person in the mirror be the leader who attracts and keeps a great team. And I say that because I was that person who found great team members and lost every single one of them, and some crappy ones too. And I say that because I wasn't the leader who was yet ready to lead a great team. And so, not in an insecure way, but when we start asking ourselves in a confident way, but a collaborative way, how do I be the person that people are giddy to lend private money to? Going, Marilyn, you got any more deals for me? Like, I want to work with you already. When you become the person going, gosh, what are you doing? How do I become part of your team? And that's something I know you've done on the side with David. And way to go. That's what this is about. Collaboration, community, connection. And so something else I want to point out is that all of us on here, when we get clear about our next step, I'm getting ready to do some more live dials. And as we get clear of our next step, when we get clear about Joe and Judith's lead, who I'm about to dial, about Laura Lee's lead, who I'm about to dial, about whoever else lead, another lead that just called me back, Shobna's lead? Somebody's lead just called me back. Shobna's lead, Steve's lead. As we get clarity about these leads and we're talking to them, I'm going to be asking you the same question. Some of you guys come to me and you go, should I sell the house or should I hold on to it? Well, the question is, it depends. What's your goal for the year? How much money's in the bank account? What do we need to accomplish? And so private money, easy solution. I'm giddy in March when we're in Vegas at the retreat. We're going to have a great time, Maryland. And I know you're going to leave there with more private money connects. Assuming private money is solved, assuming somebody comes to you this afternoon and says, hey, $500,000 sitting on go, please go find deals already. What's the next bottleneck?
I don't have one.
I love that.
I don't see one.
Good.
I'll get too busy to handle it all myself. Then I start hiring VAs. Then we just keep moving.
And that's the attitude. And that's what I pray everyone's takeaway is. Surround yourself by the right people, solve the bottleneck that's in front of you, and keep moving forward. Because as a real estate investor, as a business owner, frankly, of any sort, there's never a time that there won't be a problem to solve. If there wasn't problems to solve, we wouldn't be able to make money because we get paid in direct accordance to the size of problem we solve. So more money, more problems equals opportunity for more money. So way to go, Marilyn. Any final words before we wrap this up?
I was taught by somebody I really respect years ago, if you're not making mistakes, you're not trying hard enough.
That's a writer downer. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for the joy you bring to the community, for being part of our incredible community. And you add so much to it. And everyone here, I just feel blessed to be your friend. And keep crushing it, my friend. Give it up for Marilyn.
Thanks, Andrew, for all you do.
All right. I'm going to answer any questions you have, and then we are going to do some more dials.
All righty. Question is using hard money good or bad? Please explain if you've ever used it and what was your experience. If it's a good enough deal, refinance before the end of the loan 1 year. Is that a good model to at least get started? That's from Sharon.
Good question, Sharon. It's not... I'm deciding if it's appropriate time for my political jokes or not. It's not a binary structure. It is a not a yes or no, meaning that it is a depending on the deal. So I'm going to give you an example, Sharon. I like private money. Why? Because often you're going to be able to buy the house. You'll be able to get 100% funding. And you're going to be able to then, refinance out of it, sell it, whatever. Now, hard money, the downside of private money is, a lot of people who lend you private money may only have 100 or 300 or 200,000. And so there's a limited supply in that regard. Now, don't get me wrong. There is trillions with a T of dollars in retirement accounts. You give us somebody like Amanda Holbrook and help people do what's called a self-directed IRA. This is not legal advice. Don't claim to be everything I'm telling you run by your attorney and your CPA, et cetera. And whenever they want to lend money and they're a private lender, you and them set the terms together. It's a beautiful thing. So there's positive and negative. With hard money, the good thing is it's people who do it for a business. So whatever terms they're offering, it's, quote, simple. It's simple as in you agree on whatever it is that they're offering, and they start funding deals. And often the hard money guys will lend you millions of dollars, have capability, I should say, to lend out millions of dollars. So it's one contact ease of use, and still simple. The downside to hard money is it's usually higher rates. Usually, instead of charging a rate, they charge a rate plus points. Normally, there's some fees that come along with it. And normally, if it goes overtime, there's a whole lot more fees that go along with it. And so I like private money because if me and them has set the rules, we can easily make the rules whatever us and them make happen. And so they can make more money, kind of cutting out the middleman. We are able to make more money, and it's a win-win. So good question. If the deal's good enough, you guys have heard me introduce you to some hard money connects over the years as backups, but that's what I want them to be, as backups. And if and when you need them, then absolutely dive in and get those connects. What are the questions we got?
Well, not necessarily a question, but more like a comment. This is from Lucy. Tell your joke, Andrew. Don't. What jokes do you have, sir?
I was just going to say until DEI happened, I didn't know what binary meant, but now I get to know. So when I said it's not a binary, it was my mind went down a rabbit trail there for a moment. All right.
Love it. Well, those were all of the questions so far. I mean, everyone was very supportive for Miss Marilyn, so love it.
Heck yeah. All right, good stuff. So we're going to dial some more leads. Who's here ready for some live dials? Oh, yeah. Oh, we got to call back. See who we got.
Bob.
Hey, Bob, it's Andrew calling you back on the Palm Rave House. How are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm good. Did I get you a good time? Cool.
Maybe.
Love it. Love it. From my understanding, you have been renting it for quite some time. Is it currently vacant or the tenant's still there?
Which house? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Is it still rented or it's currently empty? The Palm Rave. I don't know if I'm saying that street name right. 709.
I think you got the wrong person.
Oh, well, let me see here. What's the address of your house? Oh, you're right. Yeah, we was calling about two houses and I mixed them up. All right, cool. Forgive me. So let me get my bearings straight on this one. Okay, so we've got this one here. What is the ask price on this one?
I think we're at 585 right now.
Okay. And then if we is it you live there or it's a rental?
No, it's our house.
Okay, cool. What's got you looking to sell?
I live at that elevation.
Oh man. Yeah, it's
Yeah, we found out after a year. Spent 3 years finding a house, and after living there for a year, realized I can't live there.
Man, sorry to hear that, Bob. That's crazy.
Yep.
That's and what a disappointment. You bought it in 23, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're asking, and then for the debt, what's left on the debt?
I think we have 300,000 on our mortgage.
What's your payments every month on the 300?
You want the whole payment, the principal payment?
The whole thing, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance.
Yeah, that's 3,600.
You know what that rate is?
7.7.
If we was to, do you already have your new house picked out, or you're waiting until this one sells?
Until we tell.
Okay.
We started looking, and then we gave up. We was like, oh, yeah, because we've had multiple offers on the house. Yeah. The negative to it is when people see the insurance rate, they all freak out.
What's got it up so high?
We're a cabin in a fire risk zone.
Makes sense.
So There's only one person that will, or only one company that will cover it right now.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. What's how much of that 3,600 is insurance?
$500 a month.
So $6K a year for insurance. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If we
It's a lot.
Yeah, substantial. If we could buy it and take over the 300, and then let's see, 580, pay the closing. Of course, we're not realtors, so there's no 6% commissions or fees. Like, what's the bottom dollar on asking price?
We have an acceleration clause on our mortgage.
Mm-hmm. Got due on sale?
So, what's that?
You talking about due on sale?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we normally do, who's the loan with?
What is that called now? It used to be Lakeview. Now they switched it to like Henry or something.
Okay.
It's Mr. Cooper. Mr. Cooper now
taking over a lot of this. Okay. So yeah, what we do if we work out the numbers, our attorney is familiar with that. What we normally do is we normally buy it, and you're right about the due on sale clause, but we normally do what's called a wraparound mortgage. And out of over 500 deals I've closed over the years, I haven't had a problem with it the way our attorney writes it up. But obviously, it'd be something you'd have to look over and make sure that you're comfortable with. If we could take care of that part for you, make it where you was comfortable, what would be the least you would take on price?
I haven't really discussed something like that.
Okay.
With my wife, so I don't really know the number. Okay. Sorry about that.
Okay, that's okay. If we could agree on a price, I'm just like rounding numbers. I'm not saying it is or isn't what it would be, but like just for sake of discussion, if we bought it for 550, paid the closing, took over 300, like, would you guys be in a position to give us some time to pay you out the 150 once we resell it? I'm sorry, 250.
Oh. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, because honestly, what our thought is we were actually going to RV it for a while.
Oh yeah. Makes sense.
That's kind of what our thought was. We're like, hey, we're gonna RV it for a while because we got a really nice RV that we can live in. It's actually there's pictures on the website of a listing of the RV. So yeah.
Very cool.
That we could probably do if we really got into it.
Yeah. Okay. When would you be talking to your wife? When should we reconvene and start talking about potential price and how we might structure this? And any more questions you have for us?
I can talk to her. I'll be home this evening and talk to her there. She's working right now, so I can't get a hold of her. But yeah, I mean, something that we can discuss there. I'm like, so our listing is actually expiring on Monday.
Oh wow! Congratulations,
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. At a point where it's like we've had 32 showings on it, like 6 open houses, and just like we're done, and like we really want to take time off.
Yeah, and that 30. Yeah. I don't blame you. And having a headache and a physical headache and a $3,600 payment and insurance, that's probably feels like a headache sometimes.
I don't want to sell. My wife's the one who's like, well, it's not good for me to live up there. She's the one who's in panic mode about living up there. But yeah. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't want to sell. Like I said, it took us 3 years to find a place.
Yeah.
It's a great log cabin on 6 acres on top of a mountain. Come on.
Once you're done RVing it, where do you and your wife want a new place at?
Same place. Our grandkids are here.
Okay. So. Just down off the hill a little bit.
Yeah. Down in the Front Range is the plan.
All right. Very cool. All right. Well, yeah. We'll call you tomorrow around this time, and we'll see if we come to numbers, great. We'll work out something that's a win-win. And if not, that's okay too. But definitely one we're interested in and fits our model. So we'll hit you up tomorrow about this time.
Oh, good, man.
All right, brother. Appreciate you. Bye for now, Bob. All right. So good stuff. Let's see whose lead is this.
That was mine. Laura Lee.
What's up, Laura Lee?
We have a question from
Not
Sharon.
much.
Awesome.
If you've got a moment.
I do.
Question is, I couldn't understand the seller. Why did he say he can't live there any longer? Why is he selling?
He's selling because it's up in the mountains and the lack of oxygen gives them headaches. They looked for this place for 3 years, found it, bought it at 7-point-something% interest. Love the house. Sounds like the payment is not stretching them too bad, but the air pressure is a challenge for them. So they're going to RV it for a while and keep working on selling it. They've had it listed for 6 months and it's expiring on Monday. We would be the answer to their prayer. Now, the downside to this deal, I'll give you the downside and the upside. This is what my mind immediately does. And again, you guys who are part of the Truka family, you know what we've been working now for Leo and I many years to build. Shout out to Leo if he's on here, my best friend and brother. Way to go, man. So when Leo and I decided to launch this years ago, it's one of those things. I remember when I would call sellers and I would talk to them and I would be sometimes lost of what to do next. I remember years ago when I would be finding deals and I just didn't have boots on the ground in the area. Sometimes it was good deals. So just know, like, country boy who used to be broke, who didn't have the ability to talk to sellers like I do now, like, rewind a little bit. I don't want you to think I'm far removed from that because I'm just a country boy who's been blessed to have a few thousand more no's by now. And out of those few thousand no's, I get some yeses. But I point this out because this seller, my mind immediately goes, okay, he has a 7-point-something interest rate. If somebody wanted to buy this house and eventually refinance it, they could probably get a lower with rates. We just talked about that. They could get a lower rate. They could save themselves some money right now. Secondly, the motivation. They are sitting here with probably 6 figures buried in this house in their cash, a $300,000 payment. You heard the insurance problem. So what am I doing? Type it in the chat, write it down, find the hot button. You heard hot button 1. Been listed for 6 months. Well, that's hot button 2. Hot button 1, air pressure, headaches. Hot button 2, listed for 6 months. Hot button 3, insurance price. We've had 32 showings and multiple offers, and insurance knocks our buyers out. Hot button 4, you keep going down this road. I'm already done with it. I'm just going to RV. And you hear those hot buttons, those reasons I'm done with it. And our job as real estate investors is to solve their problem. Now, not everyone's problem we can solve. This is why I do what's called a walkaway offer. So my mind immediately goes to, Jeff Baum, who is in the community, just bought a house just outside of Denver. Shout out, Jeff, if you're listening. Jason, who part of the community, he just bought 2 houses in Denver. This is not far from Denver. My mind immediately goes, well, crap. Jason just had 2 tenant buyers offer him 1 5 figures, 1 6 figures, non-refundable deposits on his Denver house. Well, crap. Who here knows that it's easier to sell 3 houses than it is to sell 1? Why? Got a bunch of people. You're picking one. You got somebody who has 50,000 down and somebody else who has 100 or more thousand down. And you're going, well, crap, which one do I pick? Who here realizes those leftover buyers can be redirected to other houses that also fit their needs? Yes or yes? Hello? So this is the connections that I am pointing out to you guys as you're talking to these sellers and what my brain does in terms of how do we help make some money. Now, the downside is there's a big payment. I don't even know if the darn thing would rent for it. I don't even know if it's worth it if he will give it to us for nothing down and pay him out later. Those are to be determined. So, Laura Lee, get with your coach, do the rental comps and find out what this darn thing would rent for and determine if it's worth $3,600 a month. If it is, we can do the walkaway offer tomorrow. All right.
Okay, great.
Way to go. Next,
Thank
we
you.
have Shobin is lead. This is Kathy on Grosvenor.
Hello.
Hey, it's Andrew calling you back on the I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Is it Grosvenor Place?
Yes.
Awesome. Did I catch you a good time?
Yeah, I got about 12 minutes.
Cool. I only need 9.
Okay.
So a question for you, Kathy, right?
Yes.
You're looking to sell it, and was asking how much are you asking for it?
Well, I told her that I wasn't sure because I know what it was listed on Zillow. But I haven't I just got home from work, and so I really haven't had a chance to look up anything or to talk to someone else to see what it would be like. That's why I was saying tomorrow would probably be better because it'll give me a chance to um talk to the person that I know.
Of course. You still live there?
Yes,
Okay.
I live there.
Okay. And
It's
then
different.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea? Are you I'm looking it up online myself now. Does it need a lot of work, or is it moving?
It's moving. It does need some little pieces here and there. There's some trimming that I need to have put back up. On the sunroom in the back, I need to put the flooring back down, which I have it there. I just haven't had someone to come over and do it just yet. But my bathrooms are updated. My kitchen is updated. And it's in a great neighborhood.
You and your husband or ex-husband own it together, I understand?
No,
No.
I own myself.
Oh, you own it. Okay. Forgive me. I had my notes wrong. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then the remaining debts on it is around 50?
Yep.
Okay.
Home ec loan, and it's about 50 and some change.
Okay. And those payments are current, I assume?
Yep.
Okay. And then as far as the sale, if we agree on price and things, how soon would you be looking to sell it?
Probably within the next 30 to 60 days. I've not even begun to look and I told the other lady that it just kept popping up on I was on Instagram and it kept popping up there. We'll buy your house. And then I was on TikTok and it was popping up there. And I was like, well, let me just check to see. So I've not even, I've gone out to look at some other homes because my house is 5, 2.5, and it's just me in there. And I don't really want that much house anymore. Although my kids are like, but Mom, that's the house we grew up in. But yeah, you're 35 and 37. So yeah. I'm just kind of looking at my options.
You gonna rent or buy another one?
I'm buying another one. I'm gonna rent. A waste of money.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Are you have you talked to anybody? You're thinking 50,000 or 750,000 or any number you have in mind?
For my house?
Yeah.
Probably in the 3s.
Okay.
There's a house in my neighborhood that is, I think it's a 3, 2.5, and they're asking 384. But I haven't been in to see the updates on that one. But I know that my neighbor, he was trying to sell his, and his house is much, much smaller than mine. And he was asking for 3 something.
Okay.
And his didn't sell. But his house has not been updated. He doesn't have a basement. It's just a flat 2-3, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. but it's small. It's really small. And I want to say he may have been asking like 350, and he didn't sell it, and he finally took it off the market. But there are other houses in my neighborhood that I've not really looked at the comps to see what they're going for.
How's your energy now? Getting these sellers on the phone. You guys' energy coming up? Type it in the chat. I want to see your energy levels.
Some work to be done. It's not major work, but it's something that, you know, whoever comes in next can do. Like I have hardwood floors under the carpet, but they need to be like stained and either recarpeted or stained and buffed and stained.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. If we could, what Shobna and I do, and this one caught our eye, I like that area, is we buy them two ways. We either, you know, pay below value, get some equity and fix and flip them. That's less times, and then more times than not, you know, somebody like yourself who's just wanting to, you know, net more money and make sure you get a fair price for the house. We're not realtors, so there's no commissions or closing, so you net more by selling to us, and then we usually pay you out over time. So if we could agree on price now, close with our real estate attorney, and of course, you know, we're not realtors, so there's no fees or commissions. Would you be able to give us some time to pay you off in full?
Perhaps, yeah. But I am, like I was telling her, I said, I'm just like beginning to look, and it was just one of those things. It kept popping up that, you know, we'll pay cash for your money. I mean, cash for your money, cash for your home. And so I said, well, let me just check into it.
Yeah.
So
awesome. Well, let's do this then. While you, when would you like to figure out the price, and then when would you like Shobna to retouch base with you, and then we can start exploring, you know, what options we are once we know where we need to land.
Probably by Tuesday, because I'm going out of town this weekend. I just had a birthday, so I'm going out of town pretty soon.
Cool.
And I will be back Monday night, hopefully. Not Monday night, Sunday night or Monday morning. So probably Tuesday would be best.
Perfect. Going out of town. Whose birthday?
It was my birthday on the 19th.
Day.
Thank you. And then it was my sister's birthday on the 26th.
Oh,
so
almost twins, a few years apart, huh?
Yep.
That's cool. Me and my brother, our birthday is May 12th and May 13th. So that's always a cool thing.
Oh, wow. That's neat. Yeah.
I got the celebrations in a row. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Shobna will note down, her and I are chatting here. So we'll note down to give you a call on Tuesday, and then we'll go from there. In the meantime, you have safe travels, my friend.
All right. Thank you.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
All right. Keep the questions coming in the chat. Shout out to Irie. Is a 10 energy. Shout out to Drew. You got a good name. 10 plus plus. Keep them coming. All right. Energy high, energy cranking. Do we have any questions, Stephanie?
This from Jeffrey. He asked, how can she not know what her house is worth before advertised?
Good question. So this is a paid lead. So she just clicked on a Facebook ad. I want to sell my house, which, by the way, I want to point out for all of you who are doing paid leads, very common, especially if you're doing like the cheaper leads. Like if you're buying a bulk from some of the, if you're paying $150 a piece for the top quality leads, it's less, but it still happens. But if you're buying like bulk leads, it happens more, where people are like, I just seen your ad, just like that. I just seen your ad and clicked to see what kind of offer I would get. And all of you notice the number that we got to. How do we get there? I always ask at least twice, what are you asking? Usually 3 times. If they can't or won't give me an answer, then I will name something ridiculous. I looked it up on Zillow. I knew if I offered $50,000, I would insult her. I also know that I would be stupid to offer $750,000. So I named those 2 numbers, a range of numbers. Why? Now comes back with a number. Well, I was thinking in the 3s. So I always do that anytime I can't get to a number. And all of you guys, anytime you're talking to sellers and they can't give you a number, which, by the way, is a tool to have in your tool belt. All right, couple more leads. We're going to dial. Everybody feeling good? Thumbs up in the chats. Energy high. All right. We get double thumbs up from Jeffrey. Heck yeah. Who else I got on the screen? Tom, Mike, Alicia. Heck yeah. Angela, Lauren. Lauren, I don't know what you did wrong. You was moved to my second screen today. First time ever. You've always been on the first screen. Roseanne. Welcome to the family, Roseanne. Nina, Marlon, what's up? Karen, heck yeah. All right. We're calling Steve's lead. This is Brittany on center. This is a and then we have Joe and Judith's follow up.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has.
So that's a bad number we have on there, Steve. But since I know that area, the area code you got 207, I'm gonna bet that you typoed it and it's 270. You let me know if that's accurate.
Hi, if you record your name and reason for calling, I'll see if this person is available.
Andrew calling about the Center Street house.
Thanks, Andrew.
Hello.
Hey, it's Andrew. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I was calling you back. I think that's my partner Steve on the Center Street house. Did I catch you at a good time?
Yes.
Cool. My understanding, you're asking 195. That's an investment property, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you own it or you realtor?
Both.
Okay, very cool. And is it currently rented or empty?
Yes, they're all units are occupied.
How many units is it?
There's 3 units. The 2 downstairs units are on 1 meter, and the upstairs unit is on separate electric meter.
What about water? Is it all together?
Yes, the water's all together, and the guys upstairs pay it. They pay the cheapest rent right now, in which I think we're getting ready to raise their rent up some.
Okay. So we have, if I'm looking at the notes right, it's it brings in what, 2,250 a month, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And then how much is electric, the part you have to pay, and how much is water?
So I don't pay the water bill. Like I said, the guys upstairs do it because we never raised their rent, so they just kept on paying it. But right now the utilities run, most especially during the winter months. Right now, like the LMU bill is like $200, and the Atmos bill is around $200 to $250.
Okay. And then what's got you looking to sell? You flip a lot of properties, or?
We don't necessarily flip properties. We're just looking for to do something different that doesn't have to do with real estate. So we're just looking, this is the one where we have the most equity in. So we're just trying to sell it outright.
Okay. You got more that you might want to sell? Because we like buying portfolios.
We do have a duplex as well. I haven't pulled any comps on it, but we're looking to sell it as soon as we complete the sale of the Center Street house.
Okay. What's the address of the duplex? Okay.
And one of the units is a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. It rents out for $1,035 a month with just Section 8. Section 8 pays a good portion of that rent. And then the upstairs, it rents out for $700. And we pay the water bill on that one, and it's about $200 a month. And that's just me rounding up. That's on the high side.
And then electric's metered separately.
Yes.
What would you be asking for the duplex?
I'm not sure yet. Like I said, we haven't pulled any comps on it at this time. So.
You have debts on both of these?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
You have debts on both of these?
Yes, we do.
Okay. You know about how much is left on those?
I would have to find the paperwork and look at it.
Okay. Any clue what, if you sold them together, I know you haven't run comps on the duplex yet. Any clue what you would be asking for both of them as a package deal?
So unfortunately, we would have to close them separately, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So,
You mind me asking why that would be?
because we haven't owned one on Center Street quite long enough, and we've actually owned the other one for probably 5 years now. I'm not sure how long we've owned it, but we would just want to do the transactions separately.
Okay, fair enough. When would you, because we are very interested in both of them. When would you have a price on the duplex?
I can look one up and get back with you, or you can call me back by the end of the week, and I can get you one on those. But like I said, we would need to sell that Center Street house first before we could ever sell the duplex.
Okay.
It's just,
Do you know how much equity you have in the Center Point house approximately? Are you thinking you're going to net 50 or 150 or?
well, I'm hoping to net, pretty well. So I'm not sure how much equity we have in it, because we bought it for 60,000 and we've put quite a bit of money into it. So I'd have to sit down and really just kind of do the numbers on it to see what we would actually net selling it at the 195. But I do want to let you know that on that roof on Center Street, it was not covered under our insurance when we had that hailstorm. So it doesn't leak or anything like that, but it does have hail damage.
Okay, good to know. Thank you for that. And then would you be open to selling it, both of them, separately, of course, but as owner financing, where we take over the debt and pay you out your equity on top at an agreed time? Because we flip packages quite often.
So at this time, I actually talked to my husband about it because I think Steve had asked me about it the other day. He does not want to do that. He would just rather just sell them outright and just be completely done with it.
Okay. Is it you needing the cash for something specific, or you just want to make sure you don't have to deal with the headaches again?
Like I said, we just wanted to do something else, and it's just better to not have a headache and have that debt hanging as well.
Yeah. Okay, cool. What was your husband's name?
His name is Joe.
Joe. Awesome. So we would be interested in them both. And just so you know, our model, I used to own the whole strip there on Triplet Street, all them commercial buildings back in 2015 and 16, and sold those years ago. But anyway, our business model is either we pay cash for properties like this, cash, our cash, bank cash, doesn't matter, but you get cashed out. But we always offer less when we're doing that. And then, the other part is we will sometimes take over the debt and, give you some equity on top. That's why I was curious the debt amount for how much equity you'd be getting. And if we can do that and not have to write the full 200 and something, whatever the total price is out, then, we can offer more money versus more money over time or less now. But we'll look at them as a on our end, a package deal, even though I know the closings will be separately. So Steve will note down to give you a call back on Friday and get the updated numbers on the duplex and also the updated numbers on the debts. See how much equity there would be that we would need to cash you out if we did it, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool. All right. Thank you. Any questions you and Joe have in the meantime, note them down, and Steve and I answer when we talk.
And what did you say your name was?
My name's Andrew Shalag. My partner, Steve Perry.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Thank you. Bye for now.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right. So let's go. Lots of follow-ups today. I want to point out something. We're getting ready to call two more before we wrap. And I know some of you guys, top of the hour, have to hop. I respect that. And for those of you who are here, we're going to see if we can get another deal or two negotiated. So here's what's happening. We are in a trust recession. And in order to buy the houses, and this is where you either outbound dial by the thousands, or hundreds at least, or inbound dial by the dozens. And I point this out because you hear me talking to these sellers and scheduling follow-ups. Now, most of the time, if we have this call with the seller, our objective is to get to one of three conclusions, which is a no, which is a yes, send me the contract. As you guys heard, I think 2 deal rooms ago, we had a bunch of those yeses, send me a contract. I think we had 3 in 1 week, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that. And then there is that middle ground. Happens right now for our community. I'm doing some daily dials in Zoom, as you guys know. And in doing that, we have follow-ups. If I'm not doing the daily dials, of course, still you take the bull by the horn, so to speak. It's your deal, take it across the finish line, except right now we're continuing to do this. And I want to show you the follow-up sequence. Because what happens with a lot of these sellers that are getting calls from 3, 5, 10, 12, 15 people, they put their number in 5 or 10 websites. But who here realizes that those people we talk to today, we stand out as massively different? That's my job, to show you guys how to be that different one. They're going, Lauren, I called 5 other people, but you're different because of the conversations we have, because of the questions we ask, and because we're there to solve problems, not just get a quick buck. Now, the problem with this lady, with what was her name? With this lady that Steve's lead, Brittany. The challenge with Brittany and her husband Joe is she is getting information and then she's distributing it to her husband, no doubt poorly because this is new to her, trying to distribute the information to her husband. So our job is probably going to be at least 2 more follow-ups, Steve. Why? Because the next follow-up is going to be finding out price, building more rapport. Then the following follow-up is going to be about seeing if we can do payments over time. Now, here, again, I want you to put yourself in the seller's shoes. As we're talking about these deals, and you hear me say, they need you worse than you need them. I need you to know that. And I need you to understand, from a guy who used to own a 66-unit mobile home park that he managed himself and a 12-unit complex in that same city that he used to run himself and a whole bunch of other rentals that he used to run himself. They are sitting there, and I know it looks like dreamy cash flow, but they are sitting there going, oh my gosh, I'm chasing these freaking tenants every single month, and the water bill and the electric bill just hopped because it's the winter. And the person I just went to evict because they didn't pay just went in and left the door open and the heat running for the last month. And I just found out the heat bill doubled for no reason. And I got to call this goofball and tell him to freaking close the door next time. And on top of that, I pray some greater fool will come along and give me a ridiculous price of $195, and by me telling them that I'm bringing in $24,000 a year and I'm netting $20,000 a year. When I know their true net, and by the way, God bless them, they might be netting that, and that's very possibly what they're doing. If they're going out there, collecting the rent themselves, yelling at the tenants themselves, managing it themselves, and filing evictions themselves. But if that's not the case, and they're hiring a management company, who here realizes if you buy the house, I forbid you from self-management. Now, don't get me wrong, Bofslow, you own the house, you lease option it. We're not talking about that. This is a duplex and a triplex. You're probably going to rent these and hold them until you resell them to somebody else. What's stuff we have to figure when we're buying rentals? Management fees, crap going sideways, payments, evictions. No, nothing. They all like to tell you the numbers of 100% occupancy, but nothing is ever 100% occupied all the time. Believe me. So something's going to happen. And there's going to be a water heater go out or an HVAC go out. And now you're out an entire year of beautiful cash flow because of this one mishap. Okay. I'm not betting against real estate. I love real estate. I love the wealth that it builds. I believe in holding real estate. I believe in lease optioning deals, so you don't have to be a traditional landlord. But we have some duplexes. We used to have some triplexes. We had the 12-unit. We had the 66. We had all of these different things and have had and do hold some. And what I will tell you is nothing goes as planned. So you got to ask yourself, can I make good money with bad numbers? And there is probably no one, based on what I know about these properties. I just looked them both up. There's probably no one in. This is loosely stated, okay? This is not fact. I'm just explaining the emphasis. Understand. There's probably no one in the state of Kentucky who will pay them their full asking price and close on their timeline and take on their headaches. Why? Because every person, unless they get somebody who it's their first deal who believes all their hoopla. That's how I got roped into the 12 unit. Some goofball told me this beautiful story, and he just forgot to tell me about the 3 tenants that wasn't paying and about the $1,800 a month in utility bills. And so I was young and dumb and didn't know to figure those things. So that's why I yell at you guys. All right. We're going to do a couple follow-ups. Any questions we have in the chat, Stephanie, before we do these last follow-ups?
No, but I sure giggled when you said that's why I yell at you guys.
Trying to help you guys, saving you the headache. All right, let's see what other leads we have. And by the way, if you guys I'm going to do 2 more calls today, and then we're going to wrap because the clock is ran substantially over. But if you guys are submitting leads, I see a couple here. It was submitted by Lauren that I believe we called, but I don't know where they are. If you guys submitted some leads in the last couple days that I have either not got to yet or we had follow-up scheduled, make sure that you are updating in the chat so I can call them for you.
I got one question from Jeffrey if you have a moment.
Sure.
Andrew, wouldn't they save massively of the Center Street house? It appears that they haven't owned it long enough.
I did not ask those questions. They want to sell them separately, and it was very nuanced, and I'll find that out on the next call. Who knows what that means? And often, by the way, if you buy certain things on certain auctions, and this is very likely what it is, if you buy certain things on certain auctions, you're not allowed to sell it for more than 20% above what you paid for it in a certain amount of months or years. That's a very common thing among investors. And so if they bought it on one of those auctions for 60, even doesn't matter per those laws. If they put 60 into it, which I'm not saying they did, but if they did, they still can only legally sell it for, I believe it's 20% over what they paid. So they can only legally sell it for $72K. Now, why they're saying they have to sell Center Point before the duplex, but Center Street, I don't know that answer, and we'll definitely find that out on the next one.
What I picked up from it was we can sell the other one because we've owned it long enough. The Center Street, we can't because we haven't owned it long enough, which to me tells me they haven't owned it long enough to get out of capital gains.
That's an interesting possibility too. Could be, which is interesting though, because they only have the triplex listed. They don't have the other one listed. Yeah, who knows?
Hi, is this Andrew?
It is, Sandra. How did you know?
I knew it had to be you or Jude. It's because I got your number on the speed dial.
I love it. How in the world are you, my friend?
Can't complain.
Good. You staying warm in this snowstorm or what?
Yes, thank God Mother Nature's kept my lights on.
Good. That's what we like to hear. And no freezing lights on these tenants?
You're in California, so you have no complaints.
This is true. I have zero complaints. I'm blessed and great. Although it was a little cold this morning. It was like 49 out here.
Wow.
Yeah, it's tough life, you know?
Yeah, wow.
How are you, Sandra? How's
poor baby? Would you say, how am I?
Yeah.
I guess I can't complain. I'm going to go to Louisville tomorrow, though. I'm excited about making that trip, kind of, but it's going to be a sad day because it's a tribute to a family member.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Life, what they call a celebration of life thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wanted to touch base with you and just see if you had come to numbers on the Lodge House or if you had talked yourself back into selling the whole portfolio and just keep the conversation going.
I'm going to put the portfolio on hold for now, but and I don't know. I mean, as far as the price goes on Lodge, I had it set for 75,000. Do you think that's too much?
If I'm going to pay the closing and no realtor fees, I'd like to be in the high 60s.
High 60s.
Yeah.
Like the top being 68 or something, or 67.
In that range for sure. What are you thinking?
By the way, did you know the house next door is for sale? Did you realize that?
I didn't.
12. What's the number on that one?
Oh, yes, I did. I looked it up because I used to own 1103.
Oh, you owned 1103.
Yeah. And
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I told you this, but I accidentally walked into 1203 in 2015 when I owned 1103. And
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
I did. I didn't
Wow.
realize there was a dog in there, the TV's on.
The door was wide open.
It's amazing I'm still alive to tell that story, to be honest with you.
So was it inhabited? Anyone living there, or was it empty?
Yeah, there was people in there. The TV was on. The doggy was barking.
I'm gonna give you a lot. Oh my God.
Yeah, so I turned around and walked right back out and realized that wasn't my house. But it looks exact same. It's the exact same.
Gosh,
I'm brick.
identical?
Yeah, they look
Really?
identical. And I just
Wow, I didn't realize that.
1103 and 1203. Well, let me ask you. So if we did do 67, let's say, like what terms would be acceptable to you on monthly and down?
I have to get on an amortization schedule to figure that out. But like, for instance, what would you be able to do on a proposal for a cash out deal?
Probably an insulting number.
Insulting, yeah, I'm sure it would be.
Yeah, probably an insulting number. I just bought Marshall. I just bought 120. I think it's 1203 Marshall. So you know where that is. I just bought that one for 37.5, but it was.
That's it from behind, yeah. Like, was it 2 streets over or just one? I can't remember how those streets lay.
I think it's.
I come up Marshall all the time, but I'm forgetting how.
Yeah, I don't know which side of the street it's on, but I think they about touch each other, Marshall and backside of Marshall and backside of Lodge. But yeah. So I'd probably be insulting in that number. But I mean, we'd be willing to submit it if you wanted to see it, but that'd be up to you. But we'd be in the high 60s if you was willing to finance. We just need you to send us an amortization and down that's acceptable to you, and then we agree or we don't.
Let me play with some numbers, and I'll see what I can live with here on what we could come up with, and give you some options to choose from, like I did before, kind of thing. If I could come in. Yeah. See what I can do on that end. And today's Wednesday.
Yeah. And do your Louisville trip tomorrow. You can just email us on Friday, Saturday, Monday. You just let me know when.
How about we hold off till Monday? Give me the weekend to kind of work on it, because I'll be tied up for the next couple of days anyway with this Louisville thing going on.
Monday's perfect. You have our email, right?
Yes, I do.
All right.
I email Judith a lot of times. Well, and all you guys. So yeah, it's always on.
I'll let Judith know.
Now I used to have Yahoo, but it's iCloud now, because they're trying to start looking like they're showing that I have emails coming through there, and I'm like, leave me alone. I don't want to be dealing with you no more. Like, you got an email at Yahoo. I'm like, no, I don't want nothing to do with you no more. You've been buttholes, and I want to be gone with you. I don't want nothing to do with you no more.
Way to tell them. You just tell them.
What their ideas is, but they play, they want to charge you to delete your own inbox, and I'm like, why don't they just fall off when they're like, 2 years old anyway? When they're 2 years old, at least, they should fall off. They don't do it. It's ridiculous. But anyway, that's another sore subject, but we don't want to bring a big dark cloud on that subject. So.
That's what I'm saying. All right. Well, you have a safe.
Enjoy the sunny world in California.
I will do, my friend.
I guess home is here. Is that right? Or
yeah, Louisville technically. But yeah, I moved from Evansville to Louisville in 2020. But...
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
But,
text me. Let me know if the snow's melted off. Is it safe for me to fly back yet?
It'll be a while, darling. It'll be a while. However, there are showing some signs of slight melty temperatures maybe next week, but it looks pretty low and slow going. Not going to be very quick.
Awesome. All right. Well, be safe. We'll talk to you we'll hear from you on Monday, and then we'll go from there.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye for now. All right. Oh, stretch it out. Everybody awake and alive. All right. We have another conversation. Let's see what we got. Another conversation. Boom, 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 boom. Any questions, Stephanie, that I need to get to?
Here's one from Tressavon. How do you submit a lead? What's the structure?
Tressavon. You would, it's for the community. So for you, Tressavon, you would email Ricky@Truka.com and hop on a call with the team and apply for one of the levels of the community. Way to go.
Love it. Here's one more. This is from Juan. It was a while ago. He says, I like that strategy, 50K or 750K. What would be a follow-up question if they say, well, I'll take the 750K? And obviously it's not worth it.
I laugh, they laugh, and I say, I bet you would.
Okay, here's another one from Irie. Have you ever had a seller upset down the road because carrying the mortgage is an obstacle to future financing until its final sale?
Good question. I buy houses on a wraparound mortgage if there's a debt on them. So I do a wraparound mortgage, which means that my attorney draws up the paperwork showing that if they owe Mr. Cooper $100,000, that our entity, or in this case, Lauren's entity or Judith's entity or whoever, owes them X dollars. It's called a wraparound mortgage. So seller owes Mr. Cooper 100, you owe seller 100. And it gives what's called commonly, and I'm not a lender, don't claim to be, talk to your lender and have them talk to their lender. But it usually gives them what's called a debt wash. So in any case that a seller's called me months or years later and said, oh my gosh, I'm trying to get a new loan and I can't do it because X, we send them our closing docs. And if their lender won't do it, which commonly they have, if their lender won't do it, then we send them to one of our lenders who has been able to do that multiple times. Good question.
This one's from Mr. Bill Welch. Hey, Andrea.
Bill, what's up, brother?
There's a double wide wobbly box that comes with half an acre and it needs a ton of work. This guy is very motivated to be all done with it. All I'd want to do is assign it to the buyer. How would you handle or wholesale this kind of scenario?
So there's two ways I would do it, Bill, depending on what part of the world it's in, what part of the country it's in. I would be very transparent. If you're not planning on closing on it, I would just tell the dude, look, I'm not going to close on this until I have my buyer. As long as it's in a state, you can do that. I'm not going to close on this until I have my buyer. I'm going to go ahead and contract to purchase it. And once I find my guy who's going to close on it from me, then I'll close it. Assuming that it's like stupid cheap, like you can't lose. I'm talking like 10K. And it's a reasonable, valuable thing. In that case, a few times I have bought it, paid the 10 or 15K cash, and then sold it on owner financing for 30, 40, 50K with, say, 10 back. And I will get most or all of my money back up front, and then I have a note outstanding to a seller. That's a time, in addition to Texas, I buy on owner finance, sell on owner finance in Texas. That's a time that I will actually sell on owner finance, but only if they're giving me close to what I paid for the property in that scenario, Bill. Good questions.
Got time for one more? Are you going to hop on a call?
I do.
All right. This is from Mr. Carl Stewart. How do you feel about talking to distressed property owners that may be more agreeable to taking payments over time dependent upon the degree of their distress versus some like the woman you just wanted to talk to that sounds like a tired landlord?
I love it. And the way I describe it, Carl, is there's three categories of talking to sellers. There is sellers who are so motivated. I'm losing it, for example. They're losing it on foreclosure. Please take my house now. If you'll take over and bring me out of foreclosure, you can have it. Just do it. Do it, please, now. There's that motivation. Doesn't matter what you say. As long as you show up, they're going to sell you their house. Then there is the demotivated. No, I want all my cash now. I'll try it another 12 months. I'll just keep it if I don't. There's that super unmotivated. Those are the extremes. That take my house now, you can absolutely find those, and you do often. And then there's that middle 70 or 80%. And the cool thing about the middle 70 or 80%, Carl, and the reason I enjoy having conversations with them, for example, Sandra, she is not desperate to sell, but she don't want to deal with the crap of having this stupid house. She's over it. For the other ones, the duplex and triplex. By the way, there's a lot more motivation in that duplex and triplex than that lady's letting on. I assure you. I know that in my heart of hearts. But in those cases, it's the conversations we have. And so I look at it this way. For example, you can buy more rehabs easier than you can buy boss low deals. But after you close the darn thing, if you're going to rehab the darn thing, you got to get a contractor. You got to do the rehab. You got to get them in. You got to get the roof replaced, the paint done, the carpet done, the electric, the plumbing, the flooring, the kitchen cabinets. You got months of all this bull crap and work and dealing with contractors and dealing with excuses and holding costs and nonsense to finally get it done and then one day list it and sell it. You can find those super easy. You don't got to be good on the phones. You don't got to be doing anything. Write it down, type it in the chat. High income skill. My prayer for each of you is that you develop a high income skill, whether you're like some of the community who just lend and partner with other people's deals, or whether you're like some of the community who just gather deeds, or some of the money who dispo, but learn your high income skill. If you learn your high income skill, now that I would rather spend 15 minutes on a call with a semi-unmotivated seller than 2 minutes on a call with a deal I got to spend the next 3 months rehabbing, right? And so understanding, I'm not convincing, I'm not begging, I'm just asking questions. And if you stack the pipeline and with enough of those 80% middle people, that is where you can make a very, very healthy amount of money by serving those people. Now, that deal, that example, Joe and Judith would probably make 30 to 40 grand over time, maybe 50 tops. It's a good middle ground area. They're not going to get a quick 40K hit on it. They're not. It just doesn't math. Except they are going to stack the pipelines, get appreciation, get depreciation, and lease option it to net the 3 paydays. So good questions. And then, by the way, whoever was asking, to reach Ricky, it's ricky@truka.com. So for those of you on YouTube that were asking how to be able to submit leads, ricky@truka.com, and Ricky will reach out. And for those of you who are registered or not yet registered for the event, same thing, ricky@truka.com. Shout out, Ricky. All right, this is...
Hi, if you record your name and reason for calling, I'll see if this person is available.
Andrew calling about Laura Lynn Lane. This is Sanja on Laura Lynn Lane for Joe and Judith.
Thanks. Please stay on the line.
That was a bot talking to you.
We get back to the lawn.
No.
Hey, it's Andrew calling you back on the Laura Lynn Lane house. How you doing?
Hold on just a minute.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
All good. My name's Andrew. I think you talked to my partner. You had said you was looking to sell the Laura Lynn Lane house.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Who's your partner?
Judith. Is that your house you're looking to sell?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
We have it listed.
Oh, okay. How much are you asking?
Well, who are you with? Are you with a company or something or what?
Me and Judith, the house, I believe you gave us a call last week one day, and we was just interested in it. I used to live in Evansville. I moved to Louisville a while back, but I still buy houses around here. So we was just interested in the property.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, are you the one that we talked to about?
All right, I got 4 other realtors. There was 2 gals that came out and looked at the house.
Okay.
I don't remember the website. We're just telling what's going. Yeah, when we talked to them.
Yeah, hold on just a minute.
Awesome. What was your name, brother?
Yeah, my name's Dale, brother.
Awesome.
Yeah. Listen, yeah, we got the house listed. If you look on realtor.com, it's 2904.
Okay.
Laura Lynn Lane. So that's the address of the house. We've got it listed. We listed in December the 4th. Mm-hmm. And we were originally asking $434. We've come down on the price, $15,000. So we're up in the air with that. But the problem that we've had with the realtor that we have, we're dissatisfied.
Mm-hmm. Well, good news is I'm not a realtor. I'm interested in buying it. But the bad news is I'm not a realtor, so I can't get you released from the listing. But what's got you looking to sell? You moved to Florida?
Well, we're moving. We're building a home down on Ono Island and Gulf Shores.
Oh my gosh! Congratulations! No more snow down there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, if you're not, if we're not into. We had a couple of people call us about this deal where they buy your home and then they take the mortgage over and then they rent it to somebody else. You're not in that predicament, are you?
Well, I can be, but I can also pay you cash. Depends on what you're wanting to look at for.
Yeah.
You have a debt on it?
Yeah, there's a mortgage on it. And the thing about it is it's a VA loan and it's assumable 3.62.
Well, that's a cool thing. How much is left on the mortgage and how much are you looking to get equity with?
What 320? I think 327 or something like that, approximately.
328, I think.
Yeah, she said 328.
What's your payment on that?
With taxes, insurance, and everything, it's $2,039 a month. And we figured it, the way I figured it is if somebody else would buy it and they got a conventional loan, this loan would save them $400 a month compared to what their interest rates are now, compared to what they'd be paying. Plus, it's 27 years are left in a payment, so they'd be cutting 3 years off of that.
26.
Okay.
26. I don't know, approximately. I'm like,
if we worked it out to buy it from you, would your realtor be willing to release the listing, or
she's going to release it anyway?
Oh, okay.
I believe, but we don't. We only got 40 days left on it, so we're going to let it slide for 40 days and see what happens.
Okay.
We've just been very upset with the people that they brought through here. They're not qualified. We asked them to be qualified. We had some problems with the people that look for. By the way, I'm an ex-police officer, so I look at this kind of shit. So anyway, and some of the people that they were bringing through here, okay, first of all, they weren't qualified. Number two is they left a mess in the bathroom when they left. And another thing, so we had a problem with that. And that was done twice. Then we had a couple in here who were like, they were 18 years old. Not that they couldn't have $1 million in the background, but it's something that we look at. And a couple other people went through the house, left the door open to the crawl space, almost froze the pipes on the inside. So we're not happy with the realtors that we're bringing through here, and the people that they brought through here. So.
No, it makes sense, especially a former police officer. You got the spidey senses.
Yeah, look at all that.
Yeah,
and we got body camera, and we got cameras all in the South anyway. So, but yeah, if you're into, like I said, what we're gonna do is if we don't sell it, okay, we may list it by owner. Okay, after this contract, it's good through March the 4th, is it on? Yeah, March the 4th, I think that's the last day of the contract. So that being what it is, if you want to call us back after that, basically, I think there's a clause in there. Anybody we show it to, we still have to pay commission to, but I'm going to put her on the spot. I've got ways of working around that.
If we agreed on price and there was no realtor commissions and we paid the closing, like let's see, 320, if we took over the 328, what's the least you would take on cash on top of the 328?
Oh, here's another, that's nothing carved in stone.
Yeah.
At this point, let me ask you, why would you want, why you're not a realtor? What do you do? What do you buy the houses and rent them?
Yeah, I buy them and rent them, and then sometimes I sell them in portfolios, or sometimes I'll, nicer one like this, I'll sell it eventually to a homeowner anyway. But yeah, I gather about 25 of these a year in Newburgh, Evansville, Boonville, Chandler, Mount Vernon, wherever I can there.
Well, and another thing that we've got, that house that we're building is really not going to be done for like 11 months because it's very large. It's on a private sector. Oh. And so we don't have to move out right away, but we're planning on, we really didn't want to really move from what the realtor told us to what I'm not too sure that she knew what she was talking about, but she said that once we close on the building or on the home, we got 30 days.
Well, and then that's if you're doing it traditional, just so you know about, me. Of course, my brother actually still lives there in Newburgh, so he'd be the one driving over to look at it if we did buy it. But I don't even know if I'm the right fit for a buyer, but if I bought it, I'd work on your timeline. Shoot, makes me the same difference to close in December as it does in January. So if you needed a few months to do it, it doesn't make me no difference.
I would say this: if somebody wants to take over the loan, okay, and I just told you it's 3 point, and it is assumable. It's a VA loan, but it is assumable by a non-veteran. Okay, so we've already talked to the mortgage company about that. If they want to take over the loan, we would probably take $60,000 in cash and assume the loan.
Okay. And then would you need would you want to stay, like in a perfect world, if we agreed on the price and we was your buyer, would you ideally want to stay there another 11 months and we just close on, in December and you move straight into your Florida home, or would you want an intern where you move out and, first?
Well, yeah, we need to, yeah, once we get out of this one, we have, I have a friend of mine, it's a realtor down there. He's going to rent us his property.
Oh, heck yeah.
And so I've already got that nipped in the bud. So, I mean, we may stay here for a couple months. If you want to buy it, close on it, and then we'd rent it from you for a couple months. That's negotiable.
Okay. All right. Cool.
But no long term. We don't stay here longer than we have to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're not far apart, so I guess unless you have a release, which I don't know who your realtor is, but unless you have a release, I guess sounds like you should have. I should wait to return your call again until the listings run out. Is that what you'd like to see?
Yeah, I would say, like I said, I think it's March 4th. Hold on. She's talking. I'm trying to talk to him. Here, you want to talk to him? What's your name again?
My name's Andrew Slag.
Okay, here, I'll let you talk to her.
Cool.
Andrew,
Hey, sir.
you're the one that we talked to before, because I remember that name.
Oh, well, cool. I don't remember that, but hopefully I was nice.
Yeah. Well, you was, but it was you was presenting like a wraparound mortgage, I think.
Yeah.
Then, but no, we would need we would just sell it outright. I don't want to get involved with wraparound mortgage or anything like that.
Yeah. With the assumable mortgage and the 60 grand though, that would be doable for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And we would like to I can get out the rent or the contract. I can get out that. So it's something that I would want to do probably right away.
Oh, okay.
So if you come up with the money and everything, that's fine.
Yeah, well, coming up with the money ain't a problem. It's just a matter if we come see the house and like it. So when would be a good time? Let me see. I'm actually, snowstorm came and I
well, nobody we know.
Warmer client.
Warmer
climate. Yeah, I'm out in Southern Cal for a couple of days. My brother's still in Newburgh though. He's braving the storm. If he could come by and see, let me see. This is Wednesday. You available either Saturday or Monday for him to swing by? And
Can we have a number where we can call you back? Because we do have some things we've got to be in and out of.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give you a time and a date, and I'm not going to be able to show it. So if you give me your number, I will call you back and give you the information that you need.
Perfect. Is it cool if I just text you from this number as soon as we hang up?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
That easy? Okay. All right. I appreciate you both. Sure good talking to you. Dale and Sanja, right?
Correct.
Awesome. All right. I'll shoot you a text immediately, and then we'll see if we can come out and shake hands and meet here in the next few days.
All right.
All
That's
right.
fine.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
All right. So, good chat. And I am going to answer the questions I think you guys have. Judith, make sure you note that down. All right. So I know the questions that often come up in a case like that. What's the difference, or how are you going to do the assumable mortgage thing? Well, there's a couple of ways. There's multiple ways, actually. And in most cases, I would not be willing to assume a mortgage. Almost everything I buy is with wraparound mortgage. They seem to be stuck on that technical, but I also think that that's worth a visit. And since this happens to be nearby where I lived for years, it's very likely we could come to terms in a way that works for both those people and us. Now, another thing, you guys notice I would have been the last man out or the first man out if I would have said, cool, will you wait on your money till later? You guys realize that? You heard that? Yes. You just know it in your gut, A whole lot different when you're standing in their living room. Now, again, we do this virtually. I won't go see the houses, but when you have boots on the ground, it's a superpower. Do I buy a lot of houses without anybody having to go see them? Absolutely. But in a case like this, if there's competent, boots on the ground, as there is in this case, we can partner up and do it that way. All right. Again, part of the community. I didn't have that superpower back whenever I started this years ago, which is another reason we created the Truka family. All right. Time has flown by. We have been hanging out now. Shout out to all of my troopers for hanging out here with us. We'll have a follow-up with Lodge, with Sandra. We'll have a follow-up with whatever the street name was there, that most recent deal with Dale and Sanja. We'll have follow-up with the additional leads that we have in the pipeline. If we did not get to your lead and you submitted it today, yesterday, recent days, for my Truka community, I'll see you on Zoom tomorrow, and we will make sure we handle some more follow-ups at that time. All right. In the meantime, write down the follow-ups. Write down your notes. This is not just for me to be able to close and negotiate deals. Yes, that's just the brunt of it, though. That's just the pinpoint. I want this to be that Tom is on tomorrow going, holy crap, bro, I just negotiated a deal. Now I got to send a contract. I want Jeffrey going, dude, you just motivated me. I just sold another house and I just got 2 more contracts signed. This is the type of stuff. It's called the momentum. It's the compounding effect. All right. So what a great day. Great market update. Great time doing live dials. Great follow-up scheduled. It's a win in my books and a win for getting to hang out with you guys. All right. Stephanie, is there anything else I'm supposed to be doing before I wrap up here?
One last question, if you've got time.
I do.
Miss Tracy Albertson, on a VA loan, don't they need to pay in full to use it again?
So if we're taking it over on a wrap, Tracy, good question. Not an attorney, don't claim to be. Ask your attorney. Everything I'm telling you is probably a load of crap, etc. All right. So on a VA loan, there's certain limits. So it's not necessarily that it has to be paid in full to use it again. And just unless they're up to their limit, which they're probably not in this case. Something to be determined for sure. Secondly, if someone assumes it, if someone truly assumed it and it wasn't a wrap, then of course, in that case, it doesn't. So those are several options. Very open to that assumption for a variety of people. My mind's going to a lot of potential buyers I know in the area who would like this home. And if I might just get paid for being a matchmaker, actually, no, it's not my lead. Judith might get paid for being a matchmaker. But either way, doesn't matter. We'll just see what happens. We may partner up on it. I may have a buyer to just go in there and close on it in the first place and give the guy his money. Why? Because there's a huge value add to taking over a $300,000 3% interest debt. And that is a beautiful deal if I ever seen one, and a great area. All right. So lots of home run potential coming in here, guys. Keep the momentum, keep building, keep growing. And we will be, for all of my Truka fam, I'll see you tomorrow on the Zoom. For everyone on here, thank you for being here. I'll see you next Wednesday. Same place, same time. All right. Be blessed, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah.